Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club featuring the USAC Gainesville Sprint Car National Championship. Here we are Friday night at Ocala, and things are getting tighter and tighter as we head into the finale of Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. My name is Brian Holbert, joined as always by Drake York. And Drake, it's been two very distinct nights going into the third here at Ocala. With the way the track has been, the first night, obviously, the crews wanting to make sure they had enough moisture in the track to be able to make it through the week. Created a very tricky track, and then last night the track slicking off a lot more, and we saw drivers running this track in ways we've never seen before.
It was really apples to oranges, the two racetracks, Brian. First night you had a heavy, bad, fast, hooked up racetrack, and then last night, like you said, super slick. Gave the drivers a lot of opportunities they've really never had here at Ocala Speedway. I mentioned it in Victory Lane when I was talking to Logan Seavey last night. I have never seen anybody banging the boards through the dog leg like he was last night, along with Brady Bacon and a few others. That was just one of the distinct lines, too. 3 and 4, it was slick, bottom to top. 1 and 2 was still super, super fast. You know, slower than it was on the first night, to be sure, but still super fast. So it was two totally different ends of the spectrum all the way around the racetrack last night. And that's what makes this place fun, right? You can have something totally different in 3 and 4 versus 1 and 2. That's just one of the ways this place challenges their drivers.
And this track, of course, with the unique shape anyway, and then with the way the track progressed throughout the first 2 nights. Going in night number 3, crews doing a lot of work on the track. They came out last night, and that's where they had the opportunity to kind of do a reset. They flooded the racing surface before they did anything, let everything kind of soak in and went from there. And we had a chance, or you had a chance rather, to talk to a couple of drivers now as we've gone through Volusia and we've gone here to Ocala, and both of them are owner-driver operations, starting with Jake Swanson, of course, last year getting that Damien Swanson team together, finally broke into Victory Lane in Amarillo last year, and of course comes in here early in the season and picks up a win.
And not only that, Brian, he hasn't been outside the top 10, which you and I both know how race car drivers operate. They're never really happy unless they're winning, but I think Jake is content. I would say maybe even content's a bit of a stretch. He's happy with being in the top 10 every night. We talk about it every single year we come down to Winter Dirt Games. Starting off the season with this championship is so important because you have so many races off the start of the year down here in the Sunshine State. So having a good Winter Dirt Games is really key to having a good season run. Right now, he's right behind Logan Seavey in the national points. So at least how it sits right now, he set himself up good, not only for the end of Winter Dirt Games, but for the whole 2026 season as well.
And what's good is this offers teams a chance to go through and do some testing before we really get into the meat and potatoes of the season. Of course, kicking things off in the month of April back in the Midwest. And interesting to see how that team has really picked up a lot of speed towards the end of the year, how they're carrying it over this year, and it's really good to be able to hear from them here today.
It's been a fairly quiet but very strong week for Jake Swanson. Of course, he won the second night over at Volusia Speedway Park and hasn't been outside the top 10 all week long during Winter Dirt Games 2026 presented by Yokohama Tire. Jake, I just talked about the win and not being out of the top 10, second in national points currently. I know you race car drivers, you're never happy unless you're winning. So just tell us, how happy you are so far currently a few races into the season with the progress this 5T team has made from even last year to this year.
Yeah, I'm certainly happy with how we started the season, but not super stoked with how we're going at Ocala. I think that we've got a little bit that we can do to be better. I think we know exactly what we needed to do to be better last night and the night before, so that's always a good feeling, feeling like you know the answer to what you need to fix. So, yeah, I think we're in good shape, and it's good that we've kept our nose clean and just, even though we struggled, we had good finishes, okay finishes. We didn't crash out or have anything terribly go wrong. So, it means everything that we're doing is on the right track. Our maintenance program's good and everything's jiving. Everything's rolling pretty smooth. So, happy in that regard, but always striving for more.
I talked about you being second in the national points, about 30 points behind Logan Seavey. We know how good he is down here, and if he starts good, he surely carries it throughout the season. But to the championship conversation, Florida is always such a big part of that. Are you kind of keeping your eye on the points, or are you just one of those guys that, at least for this point in the season, you're going to let the points sort out how they sort out?
Yeah, for sure, keeping an eye on it, but try not to put too much emphasis on it because that's a good way to kind of screw yourself up, I think. So just trying to have solid finishes and top fiving when nights are bad is definitely key. So and obviously the points kind of follow after if you're able to do that. So yeah, keeping an eye on it, but not too much emphasis for sure.
I know you can't maybe tell us everything that you're trying on this 5T car. Can't give those guys an edge, can you, Jake? But what have you guys maybe found the first 2 nights that you didn't like that you might be applying here tonight, number 3?
We were doing some stuff to the engine to really get things, keep the tires under us for Volusia, and just kind of finding that those things that we were doing maybe aren't quite as good for here. Thinking that we kind of maybe need to go a different direction on keeping the tires under us. So, this one-way engine is really nice to drive, but when it gets dead slick like that, you gotta be able to use the pedal and not buzz the tire free.
Jake Swanson's had a good week so far, but as Jake will tell you, there's always room for improvement. He's back here at Ocala Speedway for the penultimate round of Winter Dirt Games.
Of course, great to hear from Jake and look forward to seeing what he can do this season. And talked about, you're able to talk with Jaden Rogers. Jaden's had a little bit more of an up and down start to the season. Even practice out here where the left rear came apart and that caused some damage to the car. So he's really been trying to rebound from that.
Absolutely, Brian. Talking to Jaden at Volusia about the damage that they sustained here in practice, it just wasn't shredding a left rear tire. It was suspension pieces. The rear end had to be realigned too. So a lot of work going on that race car to make sure it was good for the rest of Winter Dirt Games. They've had some problems. They've had little gremlins here and there, but it seems like things are starting to turn around for them. Had a very solid night last night. Maybe not the result that they were looking for, but spent some time just inside and outside the top 10. So some good speed to go around. He's starting to get there slowly and surely. Of course, small team, him and his dad mostly on the wrenches of that race car too. So it's always good to see a father and son pairing like that as well.
And that's where, that communication is key. And a lot of times with father and son, it's a double-edged sword where, the communication is there, but it's still father and son. So good to see that they've been able to really work together and get the car going. Let's see what he has to say.
Jaden Rogers and crew have brought back the familiar 14 back to the Ames-Will USAC National Sprint Car Championship, and it's a family affair once again with this operation. Jaden, before we get into that, back in the Midwest, weather's a little rough. We've had snow for a while. You've taken full advantage of the Florida sun every day, it seems like. After you're done with maintenance, you're just chilling out here in your lawn chair, tanning it up, having a great time. How nice is it to just sit back in the Florida sun and enjoy the day before you go racing?
Yeah, just got some maintenance done and just soaking up some sun. This is actually my first winter preparing for race car racing with heat in our shop. So usually we're freezing cold, and by the time we're down here, we're ready for some warm weather.
He's been chilling out here all day. He's got the dogs out, shorts, short sleeves. You got to love it. So the 14 machine, you and your dad, of course, have raced your whole career. In the last few years, it's been, sometimes your operation, but somebody else's engines, or somebody else's engines and somebody else's cars. This year, it's back to you and your dad and all of your own stuff. How special is it to have, per se, your own car back on the national trail?
Yeah, it feels good. There's always different variables whenever you're racing for somebody else, with somebody else. And, sometimes all those little kinks don't get worked out. And I felt like last year was pretty well my own stuff after halfway through the year, and we've never really had the backing to do what we're doing right now. And I don't think we have the backing to run a full season, but we're going to get a lot of racing in. We got a lot of good people behind us, and it just feels good to give my seats a rest. I got all my holes welded up in them and made them look pretty again. So we're ready.
Like I said, great to see you guys run back out on the national side of things, at least on a part-time schedule with your own stuff too. This week, though, no question about it, there have been its fair share of challenges. You started off here Sunday with a blown left rear tire. I know that junked a lot of equipment on the race car, and it's just been little issues plaguing you guys all week. Do you feel like at this point of the week you got all the bugs worked out, though, and you should be good for Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, I hope so. Saturday is kind of set up off points from 2 nights throughout the 4 nights at Ocala, and I have had 2 bad nights so far. So hopefully we can at least get 1 good night in here and set ourselves up good for tomorrow. And like I said, I got to thank Bill Beasley. Really made this trip possible. We burned up a lot of tires the other night at Volusia, and him and my mom and my other guys made sure I had enough tires to get through the week. And Mike and Aaron with ADR. And my dad, we just kind of sat this crew together and, talked about what we wanted to do this season. And they were willing to make sure I had a ride and to put some nice equipment together and go racing. So happy to be doing this with them. And Lucky Seven's big backer of mine, have been for a while. So I'm excited for the rest of this year, and hopefully we can finish out here strong in Florida.
Well, we don't want to take too much away from his tanning session, so we'll let him get back to work. That's Jaden Rogers back with the family operation now, so to speak, with their own equipment, cars, and engines.
Great to hear from Jake Swanson and Jaden Rogers a little bit earlier today as cars begin to make their way out into the infield as we'll get ready to go into engine heat and wheel pack in just a moment. 24 drivers checking in for tonight's program. So just like last night, all the drivers on hand will make their way into the feature event, but you still need to finish inside of the top 6 of your heat race in order to retain your time and be eligible for the inversion. Anybody finishing outside of the top 6, the lineup for the feature treated as if they were in a semi-feature finish. Of course, don't forget you can follow along with all the racing action from here in the grandstands when you download the My Race Pass app. Free to download in the Apple and Android markets. That'll give you lineups and results. If you join the premium side of My Race Pass, it gives you access to live timing and scoring as well as fantasy racing. So that is definitely something you want to check out. It is all right in the palm of your hand with the My Race Pass app. And, of course, there is still time to set your lineup with Dirt Draft. Remember, they've completely changed the player interface on it. They've done a lot of upgrades and updates, but now the leagues are 3-tiered. You have the Pro League, which locks in after qualifying, the Veteran League, which locks in at heat race number 1, and if you're just starting out, the Rookie League locks in at the start of the A main event. Also, predictive contests available now, and then new subscribers receive a $10 gift card to the Hoosier Tire online merchandise. So make sure merchandise store rather. So make sure and download that. And speaking of Dirt Draft, we got drivers going head to head. Let's go to Drake.
As we always do on the FloRacing broadcast, Brian Holbert, driver v. driver matchup with our friends at Dirt Draft, and you were talking about the different leagues they have. For someone who is as forgetful as me, that Rookie League sure is helpful so I can still play along in the feature event. So make sure you check out all that cool stuff Brian just talked about. But for now, we'll turn our attention to the driver v. driver matchup. Kyle Cummins, he's been on a bit of a tear lately with the driver v. driver matchup. He'll play again tonight along with Cale Coons. We'll start off with Cummins on the left-hand side of your screen. You can find him post-race in the public pro lobby at USAC Driver 1. He has chosen himself, Trey Osborne, Ricky Lewis, Jaden Rogers, and Chase Howard. As I said earlier, his opposition tonight, Cale Coons at USAC Driver 2 when you play with our friends at Dirt Draft in the pro post-race public lobby. He has chosen Justin Grant, Trey Osborne, himself, Jaden Rogers, and Harley Burns. Once again, Cale Coons at USAC Driver 2, Kyle Cummins at USAC Driver 1. So make sure you lock in your lineup with Dirt Draft tonight to play against our USAC drivers.
Thank you very much. Cars making their way out onto the Speedway. Again, Winter Dirt Games proudly presented by Yokohama Tire. They'll also be the title sponsor of the Eastern Storm that happens June 16th through the 21st when we make our way up into Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Yokohama doesn't just make tires, they make history. They've been dedicated to advancing tire design development since 1917. Find out more at yokohamatire.com. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. With the AMSOIL Shop by Vehicle tool, it takes the guesswork out of picking the best oil and filter combination for your vehicle. Choose the right product and packaging option and enjoy fast, free delivery right to your door. Go to amsoil.com to learn more. Make sure to swing by the USAC merchandise trailer. Not only can you pick up your own Winter Dirt Games t-shirt, but also with series apparel for both Sprint Cars and Silver Crown. They've got the midget calendar down there, decals, koozies, and more. But you can also sign up for a chance to win and be tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval. You and a guest, if your name is picked, will get a chance to go down to the infield to watch tonight's feature event. But before that, you're going to get to ride in the pace truck, and you'll even get a prize pack. So make sure and swing by and sign up at the USAC merchandise trailer. That name will be called following tonight's heat races. As you make your way into Ocala Speedway, make sure and stop by and pick up a complimentary can of NOS Energy. You can also try new NOS Zero Sugar. Zero Sugar, 100% NOS. Make sure and stop by and grab a complimentary can today. You can find a retailer near you at drinknos.com and make sure to follow them on social media at NOS Energy Drink. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. Find a Cookout location near you. Go to cookout.com. Sunoco is the world's largest manufacturer of racing fuels and has been the standard in motorsports for over 50 years. Known for innovation, consistency, and high performance, Sunoco Fuels has been the choice of racers from grassroots tracks to premier international series. Check them out online at SunocoRaceFuels.com. CarIQ has created a payment solution aimed at fleets that allows cars and trucks to connect to gas pumps to pay for fuel without the need of a fuel card or a credit card. CarIQ Payment Solutions. CarIQ Pay replaces fleet card products and protects against fraud while significantly reducing back-office vehicle reconciliation. Learn more at GoCarIQ.com today. Hoosier Racing Tires' mission is to be the dominant customer-driven provider of racing tires to teams domestically and internationally. For more information on the tires designed for champions, go online to HoosierTire.com. The new standard in sprint car body technology is here, engineered with optimized airflow for maximum downforce and increased horsepower, and is available in multiple high-performance material options so every team can build the right body package for their program. Shop now at 5starbodies.com. Whether you're running a go-kart, a micro, a midget, modified, sprint car, late model, Silver Crown, or even a tractor, Rod Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you to lead the field of performing to your maximum potential. Remember, they don't just sell them, they race them. Go to rodandsupply.com for more information. Parallax Group offers world-class power supply products to the RV industry. Parallax Group delivers high-performance assemblies and manufacturing solutions in North America that exceed client expectations, focusing on quality and efficiency to ensure their products lead the industry. Go to parallaxgroupinc.com for more. The Rookie of the Year Chase, brought to you by Max Pappas Innovations. MPI takes all aspects of construction and safety to heart and is the most accurate and dedicated way possible. Before becoming an MPI product, structures must pass their internal quality control tests. Safety in construction R&D is all paramount to all of MPI's innovative products, including steering wheels, gloves, and seats. For more information, go online to maxpappasinc.com. Your Max Pappas Innovations Rookie of the Year not only gets an MPI steering wheel, but also a $5,000 bonus. When a driver in USAC competition goes to the work area, they're going to the Indy Metal Finishing work area. Indy Metal Finishing mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodized and chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Visit them today at IndyMetalFinishing.com. The side-by-sides and four-wheelers you see making their way around with the United States Auto Club, well, that's courtesy and help from Indy Power Sports. Indy Power Sports offers the vehicles and equipment you want, plus service and parts you need to keep them running in top shape, including ATVs, electric bikes, motorcycles, and utility vehicles. Browse their full inventory and see everything they have in stock, both new and used, at indy-powersports.com. Talked about going down to the USAC merchandise trailer. You also want to make sure and follow USAC Gear Facebook page, as they will post new products and special offers all season long. Another great way to follow along and find out what is coming to a track near you. And, of course, you can also order online. That link is available at usacracing.com. Of course, you can go directly to usacgear.com to shop 24/7. A reminder, anything you order while we are down here in the state of Florida online, that will be shipped once we get back to Indiana. $60,000 to win the championship with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. The point fund approaching $300,000. And on top of that, the Mike Curb USAC National Drivers Championship makes its return in 2026 with the highest payout ever at $20,000. The bonus is awarded to the driver who accumulates the most combined points across each and every points-paying USAC Silver Crown, Amsoil National Sprint Car, and NOS Energy Drink Midget Series event. So the best across all three, you get a $20,000 bonus at season's end. Last year, Justin Grant picking up the Mike Curb USAC National Drivers Championship, worth $15,000 in 2025, now worth $20,000. Speaking of Justin Grant, just seeing him on screen, the team has been battling a vibration issue on that number 4 machine, going through it front to back and top to bottom here in order to get ready for tonight's program. As the track begins to roll in, cars making their way down into the pit area. They'll be told on the receiver one-way communication radio to go ahead and exit the racing surface. We'll whittle it down until we get into Dirt Draft Hot Lap session at number 1. 3 total Dirt Draft Hot Lap sessions on the card here this evening for the USAC Gainesville Sprint Car National Championship. Of course, the IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights also on the card this evening. 25 entries on hand for the Mod Lights. Looking around the Speedway, you might notice a pair of 13 machines. Well, one of them is the 13TH. How fitting. Being the 13th, that car's making its way on the exit of turn number 2. We found Jason Voorhees walking around. No, that's going to be Kobe Simpson out of Bonham, Texas, driving the 2 gals in a little vehicle packing company. Howard, Mach 1 at number 13TH. The Howard Racing team bringing their backup car out. They'll allow Kobe Simpson to get behind the wheel of that machine. So 2 gals on the side of his, and when the 13 makes its way around, Chase Howard at Nesbitt, Mississippi, working off of turn number 4 right now, has 2 fellas moving company on the side of it. So cars continuing to make their way down into the pit area. Chase Howard will be in this opening flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps in that 2 fellas moving company. Howard Racing Engine, Mach 1 chassis, Kaiser high-speed titanium AMSOIL number 13, making his way around to the exit of turn number 4. Driver behind him will also be in this group. Out of Columbus, Indiana, now rolling past him. That is the Superior Ag, Dave Wigmeat, Stanton Flea RC, Davis Brothers, S&C Machine Fabrication number 5G of Gunnar Setzer. Gunnar Setzer in the 5. Looking up towards the middle of the back straightaway, now headed towards turn number 3. Logan Calderwood at a Goodyear, Arizona, the MP Environmental. JST Shock Technology number 6. Looking over onto the back straightaway, we find Robert Ballou at Rockland, California, the Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Berks Western Telecom number 12. Driver rolling in behind him, that's Brady Bacon at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Concord American Flagpole Racer Magazine, Jim Weed, Rider, Triple X Chassis, Chris Dyson Racing number 20. He'll make his way onto the exit at turn number 4. At speed behind him now, Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana. The Curb Records Mechanical Advantage. Coletta Charters at Stanton. Dueling Autosport. Quebec-Janian, number 63. The 14 also on track. Jaden Rogers out of Worthington, Indiana. The Beasley Railcar Repair. American Dream Racing Spec DRC Chassis number 14. And the 41 making his way into turn number 3. That's Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California. The Superior Tank and Trailer Stinson DRC Physical Medicine Consultants number 41. A little bit of a rough start to his Winter Dirt Games this season. A 16th, a 20th, a 22nd, and a 23rd last night. Fortunate contact into the back of Robert Ballou as they race their way into turn number 3. Pinch on the right front of that car, sending him spinning instead of flipping. Robert, likewise, that car launching sideways, but was able to hold on to it. Ballou coming away with his best run of Winter Dirt Games so far this week, an 8th place run one night ago. 5G, a Gunnar Setzer here on screen at Columbus, Indiana. Ooh, a lot of smoke off of the 41 there for a second. Looks like coming off of the engine, not out of the engine, fortunately. But Ricky Lewis putting up a little bit of a smoke screen there over in turns 1 and 2 for a moment. And Robert Ballou, the quickest driver on track right now, 15.689. Jaden Rogers, 16.639. Gunnar Setzer, 16.8. Bacon, a 16.889. Calderwood, 16.992. They'll leave the drivers out here. They'll let them roll around for a little bit. And then should come back into a green-white checker to wrap up at Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. 15.060 for Robert Ballou. Puts him atop of the charts right now. Jaden Rogers, 15.618. Brady Bacon, a 15.740. Logan Calderwood, a 15.987. Gunnar Setzer, fifth quick at a 16.071. Coons, Lewis, and Howard. Cars will begin to make their way off. We'll wait for Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 2 to make its way out here in just a moment. A quick look at the season-long point standings coming into tonight. Logan Seavey amassing 301 points so far. Puts himself atop of the pile. Jake Swanson currently second at 271. Then you'll have Brady Bacon currently sitting third in standings. Kyle Cummins holding on to fourth. Chase Stockton at fifth. Kevin Thomas Jr. in sixth. CJ Leary in seventh. Trey Osborne at eight. Justin Grant and Briggs Danner right now being shown to round out your top 10. Of course, everybody in the season-long fight for their share of the near $300,000 point fund. A lot of bonuses and incentives. Talked about the Mike Curbett Driver Championship, that $20,000 bonus. The MPI Rookie of the Year Chase, that's a $5,000 bonus to this season's Rookie of the Year. But the Parallax Group, again, putting up that $2,500 bonus to be the passing master. This is every time a driver advances position in a feature competition. Brady Bacon so far leads that stat at 25 advances so far here during Winter Dirt Games. Shelby Hinton currently sitting second at 22. Chase Stockton at 21. Kevin Thomas Jr. at 20. Cale Coons at 18. Kyle Cummins at 17. 15 apiece for Seavey and Ballou. Tom Harris and Jake Swanson currently making the top 10 in the Parallax Group Passing Master standings. Again, that will take place throughout the entirety of the 2026 season during a feature competition. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2 on to the Speedway out of Banbury, Oxfordshire, United Kingdom. Driving the Skegness Raceway, Claxton powered. Maxib chassis, HunterPack7nights.com, Project 12 spray coating number 84. That is Tom Harris. Tom Harris rolling over in turns number 2. Here on the front straightaway, we have Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. Driver the Avante Windows and Doors, Dugo Superfood, Stanton Makwa chassis number 3P. Driver rolling in behind him, that will be Harley Burns. Burns out of Brazil, Indiana, the Brit Arrow, Timberland Lumber Company. Youngblood Farms, theacecorp.com. 16 Chevrolet DRC chassis number 16. Out of Anaheim, California, in turns 1 and 2, the Inland Rigging, One Way Performance, DRC, Snake Enterprises, Roll Scaffolding, JST Shock Technologies, Burris Racing, Damien Swanson, number 5T. That is Jake Swanson. Jake Swanson in the number 5. Exit at turn number 2, just in front of the AMSOIL banners right now. The NOS Energy Drink, MPV Logistics, Top Industry, Stanton Maxim chassis number 4. That is Justin Grant. Justin Grant in the number 4. Picking up the win a couple nights ago here at Ocala out of Columbus, Ohio. The Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Jet Field Trailer Sales, Mopar Power, Triple X, Hidden Hoof Hollow Farms number 16. It's tall. That's Trey Osborne. Osborne in the 6. Out of Fort Branch, Indiana, driving the England Machine and Tool, Lucas Oil Center, Kistler DRC chassis number 92. That is Chase Stockton. Chase Stockton making his way to the exit to number 4. As the field will begin to get wound up here, the 13TH Kobe Simpson out of Bonham, Texas. The 2 gals and a little moving vehicle packing company, ShopFingerDuck.com, brought us supply. Rush Race Gear number 13 as we're at speed in Dirt Round Hot Lap session number 2. And a massive fireball to the back straightaway. The engine looks like his just gone all over the place. For the 13th machine of Kobe Simpson, my oh my, it extinguishes himself. And safety crews quick to make their way over there, but able to get into the backup car for Howard Racing, and unfortunately looks like the engine may have just let go. Final group of dirt draft hot laps begin to make its way out into the infield, as they will get the 13th machine pushed by here. Kobe Simpson, they'll take that one back to the trailer and see if they can figure out if they can continue on here this evening. I know, Drake, you had a chance to talk to them early. You also had a chance to talk to Justin Grant a little bit earlier, and Grant rolling pretty good so far, second quick with a 14.800, and that team has been fighting some gremlins.
Yeah, it's been a real issue the last 24 hours or so for Justin Grant, that Top Motorsports team. We had reported on it a few times last night. They were suffering a pretty bad vibration. It was so bad, as a matter of fact, that they changed some things after the feature event here at Ocala Speedway and took the car out for a few test laps. And I mentioned last night, too, they had been having issues with left rear tires going down. That vibration was so bad it would knock the bleeder out of the left rear tire and essentially cause it to go flat, too. So they wanted to eliminate that issue. So their plan today of how they were going to eliminate that issue was basically changing everything from the motor plate back. So they changed the driveline, the U-joint, you name it. Even the tail tank they changed earlier today on that Top Motorsports number 4, to the point, too, that vibration was so bad at points it was affecting Justin's vision. So you have to assume right now the issue, if it's not fully resolved, it's mostly resolved. And also got a chance to catch it with Kobe Simpson earlier today. This was a fairly last-minute deal for him to hop in that second Howard Racing machine. As a matter of fact, they started the plan last night. They started the conversations here last night, I should say, at Ocala Speedway. Well, when they finally got the call today that Kobe was going to race, they were in the middle of a family beach trip, so they had to rush over here to Ocala Speedway to get him fit in that race car. Hopefully the damage isn't too severe on that race car, but anytime you have fire out of that place of the engine, Brian, that is no bueno. So hopefully that's not a terminal issue for Kobe in the 13th machine.
And we shall see here. We'll get a look at the replay. If you're just joining us on the broadcast, and the fireball was massive under the hood of that thing, doing a good job of getting it wound up and getting it down towards the infield so safety crews could get to him. The Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 3 making its way around the speedway. First driver here on the front stretch, Greg Mitchell out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. The Larry Mitchell Mobile Home Movers at 001. Exiting turn number 4, Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Schneider & Sons Recycling. Ryder DRC Keystone Cap number 39. The 30 of C.J. Leary on track as well. The Greenfield, Indiana. The Kodiak Products, Trapino Trucking. Highsmith Guns, One-Way DRC Chassis number 30. The 19 AZ, Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California. The AME Electrical, Indy Race Parts. Stanton Spike number 19. The driver rolling behind him, Shelby Hinton out of Doubly, Louisiana. The Pendleton Farms, West River Trailer Sales. Claxon DRC Chassis number 2B. Winner here one night ago at DeSoto, California. The Mount Mechanical Contractors, Droplight, Indy Power Sports, CGCPAs, Indy Custom Cell number 57. That is Logan Seavey. Logan Seavey in the number 57. Another team that has been battling fueling issues on and off resulted in an engine change yesterday at Coleman, Alabama. The Majestic Electric, Inland Rigging, Bird Racing, Stanton Machwa Chassis number 3R. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. Field will come to speed here. Again, KTJ in the number 3R. Still had a pretty decent rebound after having to go back down into the end-to-middle finishing work area just before the start of the feature event. Was able to ultimately charge from 23rd up to a top 10 finish, so he did pick up that extra $100 courtesy of Sober Joe's Coffee with your Sober Joe recovery of the evening.
Checkered flag flying in your final flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, and Kevin Thomas Jr. top of the boards at a 14.621, so safe to say they've got that car running nicely this evening. 14.621, Mitchell Moles second quick at a 14.646, Chase Stock at 14.688, Briggs Danner 14.714, Logan Seavey fifth quick at 14.798, Justin Grant, Jake Swanson, Robert Ballou, Trey Osborne, and Shelby Hinton making up the top 10. Cars will make the way down into the infield. We'll roll next into Learn Lab qualifying. Learn Lab is a maker of award-winning hands-on industrial job skills training systems. Using curriculum, classroom tools, and rugged hands-on training panels, Learn Lab teaches the necessary skills and real tools and components to help schools, colleges, and companies train their people to be better at what they do. Go to learnlab.com for more information. Your Learn Lab Quick Qualifier picks up an extra $150. Again, one car at a time out to the Speedway, 2 laps at speed. Your fastest lap of the 2 counting towards your Learn Lab qualifying effort. Four nights, 4 different quick qualifiers so far here during Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. Swanson, KTJ, Cummins, and Danner. The most recent Learn Lab Quick Qualifier as we're underway with the first driver out to the Speedway. He will trip the clock. And the Beasley's Railcar Repair, American Dream Racing, Spec DRC Chassis, Midwest Dyno Services, Alchemy Engineering, K1 Race Kit number 14, Jaden Rogers looking to set the mark here. Rogers coming around on lap number 1. He will stop the clock at a 14.361, 1.4361 seconds for Jaden Rogers. 6th place finish 1 year ago in Friday night competition. Last night, an 18th place run. Back-to-back 18th place finishes, in fact, for Jaden Rogers here. As he'll come around lap number 2, better, 14.213, 1.4213 seconds. Jaden Rogers setting the mark here in Learn Lab qualifying. Next driver out to the Speedway comes to you out of Columbus, Indiana. Driver of the Superior Ag, Daywig Meat, Stanton Flea RC, SNC Machine Fabrication, King Racing Products, Chrome Dome, AN Transport. The Cure starts now, number 5G. This is Gunnar Setzer. Gunnar Setzer in the 5, coming around second quick at a 14.587 on his opening lap. 14.587 seconds for Gunnar Setzer. 16th 1 year ago here at Ocala Speedway. Last night, his best run of the week, a 9th place finish. Comes around, still second quick. Better on time, though, with a 14.467.254 off the pace of Jaden Rogers, who remains atop of the field. Chase Howard onto the Speedway next out of Nesbitt, Mississippi. Driver of the Two Fellows Moving Company, Howard Racing Engine, Machwa Chassis, Rana Supply, ShopHangerDuck.com, Kaiser High Speed Titanium number 13. And something not right on that machine. His backup car with Kobe Simpson behind the wheel. The engine going up in a ball of fire, and something likewise not right on that one. So he'll take it down into the infield, and we will bring our next contestant out to the Speedway out of Greencastle, Indiana. Driver of the Curb Records, a Mechanical Advantage, Coletta Charters, Impact Racing Optics, FK Rod Ends, at Dueling Autosport, Kerbeck Ajanian, Stanton Powered, DRC number 63. This is Cale Coons. Cale Coons in the number 63. Coons will come around to start the clock. Again, a 5-time winner last year outside of USAC National Competition. His last win during the Kokomo Clash. Weekly wins at Lincoln Park Speedway, as well as a Midwest 410 win at Circle City last year. 13th place run last night for Cale Coons. Comes around third quick in his opening lap with a 15.069, 150.69 seconds for the Greencastle, Indiana racer. Makes his way into turns 3 and 4. He'll lean her hard onto the right rear front straightaway. Does he find some more time? Lap number 2. He does, but still third quick. It's a 14.794. Picks up nearly 0.3 of a second on his second time around. On the Speedway now at Rockland, California, driver of the Suburban Subaru, Deaton's Waterfront Service, Donut DRC, Birch Western Telecom, England Machine and Tool, Hinchman Indy, Amy Gardner Roofing Factory, K number 12. Hits the madman, Robert Ballou. Robert Ballou coming around, lap number 1, second quick at a 14.416, 14416 seconds for Robert Ballou. 8th place finish last night, his best run of the Winter Dirt Games so far. Previous to that, it was Night 2 Evolution with a 9th place finish. Comes around, second lap, better on time, not position, misses it by 0.060. It's a 14.273. Robert Ballou second quick right now here in Learn Lab at qualifying. At speed now out of Oxnard, California, driver of the Superior Tank and Trailer, Stinson DRC, Physical Medicine Consultants, Massive Valley Transportation, Haley Motorsports, Morris Farms, number 41. This is Ricky Lewis. Ricky Lewis And the number 41 comes around fourth quick in his opening lap of the 14.552, 1:45.52 seconds for Ricky Lewis. 23rd place finish last night, 22nd the night before, a 20th his best run at night number 1 Evolution was a 16th place finish. Trying to shake off the gremlins here. Line number 2, a little bit slower, 14.856. He'll stand in his opening lap of 14.552. That was Ricky Lewis. Logan Calderwood out to the Speedway at Goodyear, Arizona. Driver of the MP Environmental One-Way XXX JST Shock Technologies at Chuck D's Winners. CKW Designs number 6. Lap number 1 for Calderwood, 5th quick, a 14.739, 1:47.39 seconds for the Goodyear, Arizona driver. A 16th place run last night, 13th the night before. A 20th and a 21st of Volusia to kick off. Winter Dirt Games comes around, second time by. A little bit faster, 14.715, still 5th quick for Logan Calderwood. At speed now at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Driver of the Concord American Flagpole, Racer Magazine, Jim Weed, rider XXX Chassis, Chris Dyson, race at number 20. It's the Macho Man, Brady Bacon in the number 20. 6-time winner here at Ocala. Comes around 5th quick in his opening lap of the 14.660. Last year finished 5th here in Friday night competition. 8th place run last night. He makes his way out the turn at number 4. Second time by is quicker, but still 5th quick at a 14.573, 1:45.73 seconds for Brady Bacon. Out of Anaheim, California, at speed to the back straightaway, the inland rigging one-way DRC, Snake Enterprises, Roll Scaffolding, Darty Motorsports, JSC Shock Technology, CK Enterprises, number 5T. This is Jake Swanson. Jake Swanson in the 5 comes around. Lap number 1, quick time at a 14.161, 1:41.61 seconds. Swanson also quick time at Volusia. Back to kick off. Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. We'll see if he can grab another one. Can he improve on lap number 2? A little bit slower, 14.472, but a 14.161 is opening lap. Jake Swanson, now your Learn Lab quick qualifier. Night number 1 at Ocala, he was your quick qualifier. We'll see if he can grab another one here at Princeton, Indiana. The Avante Windows and Doors, Jugo Superfoods, Premier Recycling, Stanton Mach 1 Paid Performance number 3P. This is Kyle Cummins. Cummins second quick in his opening lap of the 14.205. 1:42.05 seconds. Back-to-back third place finishes so far here at Ocala was a 10th and an 11th of Volusia. Lap number 2 for Cummins. Quick time, 14.058, 1:40.58 seconds. Kyle Cummins now your Learn Lab quick qualifier. Driver to Columbus, Ohio on track. Driver of the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Mopar XXX Chassis, Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, Larry Ebert owned number 6T. It's tall, it's Trey Osborne. Osborne in the 6T so far has had really solid qualifying runs, and they continue here. 5th quick at the 14.365, 1:43.65 to your Wednesday night winner. Leading early last night, ended up with a 6th place run, brings it off a turn at number 4. Does he improve second time around? He does. Quick time, Trey Osborne, 14.052. Second time around for Osborne, puts him atop of the charts here in Learn Lab qualifying. 14.052 for Trey Osborne. Up to bat now with Ione, California. Driver of the NOS Energy Drink, MPV Logistics, Top Industries, G&G Racing Fuels, Amsoil, Stanton Max at number 4. It's Justin Grant. Justin Grant in the 4. Coming around, lap number 1, 6 quick at a 14.342, 1:43.42 seconds for Justin Grant. Fighting the vibration last night, an 11th place finish. Volusia, the side of his best run so far, a 3rd and a 4th place run. Comes around, second time by, better. Quick time, 13.910, 1:39.10 seconds. And it trades hands over and over and lands in the hands of Justin Grant. He is now your Learn Lab quick qualifier. Next on track at the Banbury, Oxfordshire, United Kingdom, driving the Skegness Raceway Claxton Maxim, Project 12 spray coating number 84. This is Tom Harris. Tom Harris, the number 84. 11th quick on his opening lap of the 14.727, 1:47.27 seconds for the 6-time Brisket F1 Stock Car World Champion. Brings it off the turn number 4, second time around, improves to 7th at 14.443, 1:44.43 seconds for Tom Harris. Next driver onto the Speedway comes to you out of Brazil, Indiana. Driver of the Brit Aero, Timberland Lumber Company, 16 Chevrolet DRC, Youngblood Farms, number 16. This is Harley Burns. Harley Burns, the number 16. Finished 19th 1 year ago in Friday night competition. Comes around 7th quick in his opening lap at the 14.334. 1:43.34 seconds for Harley Burns on lap number 1. 14th place finish last night, 12th the night before, a 17th and a 23rd at Volusia. Comes around second time by and slower, 14.895. He'll stand on his opening lap of 14.334 for Harley Burns. Next driver onto the Speedway comes to you out of Fort Branch, Indiana. Driving the Moose Racing, England Machine and Tool, Lucas Oil Center, Kistler, DRC Chassis, Brown Brothers Excavating, Phil and Eileen King, CRW S&G Fabrication number 92. This is Chase Stockin. Chase Stockin in the number 92. Comes around lap number 1, 7th quick at a 14.277, 1:42.77 seconds for Chase Stockin. 5th place run last night, 2nd on Wednesday. And a pair of 8th place finishes back at Volusia. He was your hard charger on the opening night of Winter Dirt Games. Comes around, second time by, jumps to 4th quick at a 14.138. 14.138 for Chase Stockin, good enough for 4th quick. A lot of speed during Dirt Draft Hot Laps. We'll see what he does here in Learn Lab qualifying at Coleman, Alabama. Driver of the Majestic Electric Inland Rigging, Rock City Racing, Bird Racing, Stanton Mockler chassis number 3R. This is Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 3R, sounding good at the exit of turn number 4. Had a massive blubber on the high side of the RPM band throughout the first few nights, but right now that thing sounded nice and crisp. It's 9th quick on the opening lap at a 14.359. Second time around for KTJ, 4th quick at 14.098, 1:40.98 seconds for Kevin Thomas Jr. Safe to say they've got the fueling issue figured out. As the next driver goes to speed, CJ Leary to Greenfield, Indiana. Driver the Kodiak Products, One Way DRC, Trepeno Trucking, FK Rodden, and Simpson Willwood, Indy Metal Finishing, Lucky 7 Technologies, Kramer Components, number 30. Line number 1 for Leary, 14th quick at a 14.626, a 12th place run last night for the Greenfield, Indiana racer. 7th on Wednesday, a 7th on Tuesday, and a 4th place finish on Monday at Volusia to kick off his Winter Dirt Games. Comes around second time by, will be slower, 14.658 to 14.626 on his opening lap. Currently places him 14th. Next driver onto the Speedway, having to get it back underneath him there for a second as he about flew the front end. Thought he was going to make it to the concrete there for a second. At Rothwell, Hamptonshire, United Kingdom, driver the KB Transport Solutions. Scott Baylor Racing Engine, Maxim, Benson's Products, Hunapack. Sheldon Crane, hire number 97 UK. This is Ryan Harrison. Harrison, 17th quick in his opening lap at a 15.110, 15110 seconds for Ryan Harrison. Second time by. Better on time, not position. 14.9 flat, improves by 0.210 seconds, still 17th. Next driver onto the Speedway comes to you out of Beverly, Louisiana. Driver the Pendleton Farms, West River Trailer Sales, at DG Racing, Bennick Enterprises, John and Cheryl Long, Hoosier Valvoline, Willwood DMI number 2B. This is Shelby Hinton. Shelby Hinton in the 2B, 13th quick in his opening lap at a 14.556, 1:45.56 seconds for the driver of the number 2B. Brings her around to the front straightaway. We'll see if he improves on lap number 2. He does by 1 spot with a 14.495, 14.495 seconds for Shelby Hinton. Last night's feature winner on track now out of Sutter, California. Driver the Mountain Mechanical Contractors, Dropline, Indy Power Sports, CGCPAs, Indy Custom Sewn, Portcheck Marketing, Abacus Racing, Stanton Power, DRC number 57. This is Logan Seavey. Seavey in the number 57. Lap number 1, 8th quick at a 14.255, 1:42.55 seconds for Logan Seavey. A pair of wins, some silver and a bronze medal so far this week for the driver number 57. Comes around lap number 2, better, 7th quick at a 14.162, 1:41.62 seconds for Logan Seavey. Next on to the Speedway, he comes to you out of Raisin City, California. Driver the AME Electrical, Reinbold Development, Indy Race Parts, Stanton Spike Chassis, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports number 19 AZ. This is Mitchell Moles. Mitchell Moles in the 19. Comes around 6th quick in his opening lap with a 14.144, 14.144 seconds for Mitchell Moles on lap number 1. 4th place finish last night, his best run of the week so far here during Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. Brings it around lap number 2. Does he improve? He does. Second quick at a 13.937, 1:39.37 seconds. Second time by for Mitchell Moles. Bumps him up to second. Last night's quick qualifier Comes to you out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Driver of the E. Schneider & Sons Recycling, Keystone Cab, Boulevard Truck Repair, Apache Transport, Oshucks Roast Decor, Ryder, DRC, Hogue Racing Enterprise number 39. This is Briggs Danner. Briggs Danner in the number 39. Lat number 1, 12th quick at a 14.390. 14.390 for Briggs Danner. Problems last night relegated him to a 22nd place finish. He was 9th on Wednesday. A pair of top fives of Evolution for the driver number 39. Comes around, improves by 2 spots. 14.220, 10th quick for Briggs Danner. Set to be the final driver to qualify, and look out. Finds the chicane over in turns 1 and 2 at Parkersburg, West Virginia. The Larry Mitchell Mobile Home Movers, McDonald Power, GF1 Chassis, Advanced Auto, Jack Vaughn Trucking, 001. This is Greg Mitchell. Greg Mitchell, 22nd quick in his opening lap with a 16.698. 16.698 seconds on the opening lap. Primarily a wing competitor, making his first laps in non-wing competition here this week. Comes around and does improve on time, not position. 22nd quick, a 15.790. As that'll wrap up Learn Lab qualifying. 5th quick tonight was Kevin Thomas Jr. 4th quick was Kyle Cummins. 3rd quick was Trey Osborne. 2nd quick was Mitchell Moles. And your Learn Lab quick qualifier, he comes to you out of Ione, California, piloting the NOS Energy Drink, MPV Logistics, Top Industries, Amsoil, Stanton Power, and Max at number 4. Race fans, give him a hand, Justin Grant. 41st time in his career, he ties Kevin Thomas Jr. on the all-time quick qualifying list. And he's going to make his way around the Learn Lab banner. We're going to head down trackside.
Justin Grant secures the Learn Lab Quick Time Qualifying Award here in the penultimate round of Winter Dirt Games 2026 presented by Yokohama Tires. And Justin, last night we were talking about on the broadcast earlier, a lot of issues with this race car, a bad vibration. Jeff Walker and the boys worked on it all day and night, it seemed like, to get this car ready to go for today. So first things first, how's the car feeling? Is it a little bit better yesterday on the vibration side of things?
Yeah, I think we finally got it there. It runs really strong there and smooth. I can see now, which is a bonus. We've been chasing something mystery in that thing since the end of last year, and it was a brand new car front to back, new motor, and still same issue showed up again. So we had to kind of dig into some of the parts we were using and figure out what was wrong there. It's tough when it's all brand new. You think it's going to be okay, but. I think we finally figured it out there, and it feels really good. I'm a lot happier about that than I am going quick time. It's nice to go quick time, but feels like a big relief to get that sorted out and think we know maybe what was causing it. So excited about that. Thanks to all my guys for working hard and getting the NOS Energy Drink, Top Motorsports, MPV Logistics, number 4 back in the condition it needs to be, so we can go win some races. And I'm really excited.
Glad to hear the issue has sorted itself out. And you look at our stay here at Ocala Speedway so far, the Top Motorsports number 4 has had speed, just bad luck and results not really following up the speed that you have. Now that you got that issue sorted out, do you think the results will soon follow?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think we give ourselves the best chance this way, and so yeah, go out and now we can, I can focus on driving the thing, focus on making the thing faster, and instead of, back to the pits trying to work on it every time we come off the racetrack. So kind of get our focus back right and just focus on winning races now.
The goal is simple. Justin Grant wants to win some races here at Ocala Speedway during Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tires. He is your Learn Lab Quick Time Qualifier.
Thank you very much. And the track very close in time to what we had last night when Briggs Danner was your quick qualifier. It was a 13.907. Justin Grant, a 13.910. If you haven't downloaded the My Race Pass app, now is the time to do so. But before you go to the App Store, using promo code USAC26, that is USAC and then numeral 2, numeral 6 at myracepass.com/USAC26. New subscribers are eligible for $20 off their My Race Pass All Access yearly subscription. Again, that is when you go to myracepass.com/USAC26, USAC26. So if you're a new subscriber, again, not through the App Store. This is going straight to myracepass.com/USAC26. Use promo code USAC26 and get $20 off your My Race Pass All Access yearly subscription. Talked about all the great work that Sober Joe's Coffee has been doing here, of course, benefiting the Oxford House here in Ocala. The proceeds raised here, again, going to benefit them. They've got their coffee back here for sale. They got some giveaways back there, but they're also fanning out through the grandstands right now, taking donations. Again, all of the proceeds going while they are here to the Oxford House. You'll see them coming around in the grandstands. We encourage you to please donate to that. It is a very worthy cause. And also the 50-50 all week long, half of that money going into your pocket, the other half going to one of Ocala Speedway's officials and employees who right now is battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So both very great causes. We hope you would contribute. So we'll have the push vehicles come out and make a couple of quick laps around the top of the speedway. Everybody's scanning, making sure there is no debris scattered about the racing surface as our IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights will be next on the program. Their hot laps will serve as their qualifying as well. And again, their qualifying time straight up into their heat race lineups. Qualifying group number 1 should include Scott Jordan out of Ider, Texas in the 8. Jaden McDowell out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the 722. James Very out of Clewiston, Florida in the 3. Dylan Pierman out of Port St. Lucie, Florida, the 777. The V7 of Leighton Bennett out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Out of Seaford, Delaware, Brandon Sturgis, the 10BG. They had some issues last night. Let's see if they've got things rectified and ready to go here this evening. Ronnie Schote to Cookeville, Tennessee in the LR8, the 28 of Bill Leonard out of Naples, Florida, and Billy Beard out of Farmington, Missouri in the 28B, all set to be in this opening flight of qualifying. So again, while things are quiet, if you have not subscribed to My Race Pass, if you haven't downloaded the app yet, go to myracepass.com/USAC26, and that is numeral 26. Use that promo code USAC26 for $20 off your My Race Pass All Access yearly subscription. That is for new subscribers. Again, not through the app, but through the website. myracepass.com/USAC26 is where you want to go for that. Of course, tomorrow we wrap up action here at Ocala Speedway and the 17th edition of Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. That $24,000 point fund up for grabs. Again, $12,000 to win the Winter Dirt Games title. And again, a very special thanks to Yokohama Tires for coming on board this season to help bolster that point fund to the highest it's ever been, an overall payout of $24,000. And again, they'll be the title sponsor of the USAC Eastern Storm a little bit later on this year when we head to Pennsylvania and into New Jersey. So again, your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights onto the Speedway. 25 of these drivers on hand here this evening. Had a couple of pretty wicked crashes last night. One of them trying to bring back the days of the Joey Chitwood show on the front straight with a V75. Tagged the wall, put it up on two wheels down the front straightaway. The steering rendered useless on that thing and somehow was able to get it back upright. Unfortunately ended his night, though. Looking to James Very, the Florida driver in the 3. Working to the exit to number 2. Again, Scott Jordan, Jaden McDowell, James Very, Dylan Pearman, Leighton Bennett, Brandon Sturgis, Ronnie Choate, Bill Leonard, and Billy Beard. All set to be in this one. Sturgis in the 10. First time we've seen him at speed here this week at Ocala. Remember, a few nights ago, had a pretty wild crash. Not only damaged the car, but he thought it had actually broken his foot. Took a little bit of time off. Yesterday checked in, but they had some other issues they were fighting. So good to see him back on the racetrack here. The 8 coming around, Scott Jordan. It kind of set the mark, but now falling quickly here. It is Choate in the LR8, a 17.419, who is currently the top of the speed charts here in your opening flight of group qualifying. Two nights of action in Ocala for Choate, and so far it's resulted in a first and a third place finish. Talked about the 8 of Scott Jordan. He had kind of fallen quickly there on that opening lap. Well, he's made up for it. Second time around puts him back up top with a 17.343. Pair of fifth place finishes so far here at Ocala. So Scott Jordan out of Ider, Texas, in the Jordan Marine Sidewinder chassis. Texas State Insurance, Herrera's towing number 8. Will be your quick qualifier, and he'll be on the pole in heat race number 1. Ronnie Choate in the LR8 was second quick at a 17.412. Jaden McDowell third quick at a 17.851. Leighton Bennett a 17.911. And Billy Beard, the Missouri racer, 18.032, making up your top 5. Pearman, Very, Sturgis, and Leonard ended up rounding out your qualifying order. Don't forget, you can still play along at nxtbets.com/playusac, where you have a chance to win. Here on the broadcast, you can scan the QR code, or again on your phone, go to nxtbets.com/playusac. Odds provided to USAC by NXT Bets. They put Logan Seavey as the odds on at plus 168. Cal Cummins at a plus 232. Brady Bacon at a 412. Justin Grant at a 382. A little further back, Briggs Danner at a 1983. Trey Osborne, one of the long shot odds, at a 3604. And Jake Swanson at a 3932. But remember, when our drivers win, you win when you play along at nxtbets.com/playusac. Void where prohibited, must be 21 years or older to participate. Fight back against addiction at 1-800-GAMBLER. Drivers set to be in this qualifying group for your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights. Jean-Francis Leblanc out of Wickham, Quebec, Canada. Driver the Reptronic number 721 is set to be out there. The 10B, Brandon Dennis out of Greenwood, Delaware. The V75, after the hard contact with the wall and getting it nearly upside down, he is set to be back in action here. The Delaware racer, Ryan McKinney. Jagger Beard in the 35 at Farmington, Missouri. Pierce Aiken in the 25. First time we've seen him this week. The Joker chassis entry rolling over in turn number 2. Riley Clem putting on an absolute show last night, charging from deep in the field up to a podium finish at Bakersfield, California in the 9. Larry Hubbard Jr. at a Cape Coral in the 56. And Tyler Gary in the 26. Ryan McKinney in the V75, so far the quickest driver on track. Again, they get 4 laps to establish their time. That'll wrap that up, and McKinney will be quickest at the 17.204. Brandon Dennis, a 17.354. Pierce Aiken, 17.379. Jagger Beard, a 17.497. Riley Clem. Tyler Gary, Larry Hubbard. And Jean-Francois Leblanc will end up being your slowest qualifier, an 18.549 for him. Final group of your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights will begin to make its way out to the Speedway. Wayne Smith, the 7B, set to make his way out. The 11 of Joseph Dunlap, the Tennessee racer. The 88 of Braden Benson out of Delaware. Jeffrey Bernard-Lacombe in the number 57, coming to you out of Quebec. Also set to be on track, Sam Blaze in the 13 machine. Hailing out of Alberta in the Masonry Bricknet number 13. Corey Babbitt, last night's feature winner out of New Caney, Texas in the 12. The 11C of Carson Hubbard out of Ohio. And Tim White out of Salisbury, Maryland, the 16. All set to be on track. White in the Midcoast Sighting. Mike Durham, Plum Creek Farms, number 16. Checker flag will fly in your final qualifying set for your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights, and Carson Hubbard, a 17.674. Puts him atop of the charts. Last night's winner, Corey Babbitt, second quick. Then is Tim White, Joseph Dunlap, Wayne Smith, Jeffrey Bernard-Lacombe, Sam Blaze, and Braden Benson. So Benson, unfortunately, pulling off early in that qualifying set.
Good plan, he says.
50-50 tickets on sale once again. Again, half of the money going in your pocket, the other half going to help one of Ocala Speedway's own, who is dealing with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She's making her way down the front of the grandstands right now. The Ocala hoodie down here at the bottom of the stands. She's holding up some yellow tickets right now, so make sure and get her attention. Opening ceremony set for about 7:15. Again, 7:15 when we're set to get underway, so that gives you some time to go get yourself something to eat and something to drink. Cruise on down into the midway. A lot to choose from back there. Of course, USAC merchandise, the very limited run of those Winter Dirt Games t-shirts. Make sure and get back there while your size is still available. Of course, now's a good time to go sign up to get your shot at being tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner. Again, you and a guest, if your name is chosen, get to ride in the pace truck, you get a prize pack, and you get to watch all the action from the infield during the feature event here tonight. Back at the USAC merchandise trailer, you also find Cale Coons and Jaden Rogers merchandise. Brady Bacon is back there with his merch trailer. Kevin Thomas Jr. with C.J. Leary and Jake Swanson all available in his merch trailer. And again, they have a special going on where you can actually mix and match t-shirts and hoodies back there with Kevin Thomas Jr. So swing by while supplies last. Robert Blue has Tom Harris merchandise with him back there. Chase Stockin and Moose Racing is set up. Kyle Cummins, Briggs Danner, and Chase Howard has their tent back there as well. Of course, you can get your Winter Dirt Games apparel, decals, Sprint Car Lifestyle apparel, the Sprint Car and Silver Crown Tour apparel, koozies, series decals, a limited supply of blankets, that midget calendar, and more available back in the Midway. K&N set up. They have a really cool display back there. Of course, K&N can not only get performance filtration for your vehicle, but also for your home. So that is definitely something you want to go back and check out with them. So again, opening ceremony set for about 7:15. With that, here on the FloRacing broadcast, we're going to step away for a moment. We'll be back to Ocala.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Car IQ Pay allows people to pay for all vehicle expenses without a credit card or a fuel card. As an all-in-one payment solution, Car IQ Pay takes care of every step of the fueling journey, from station routing to payment and fraud prevention to simplification to back-end reconciliations. Drivers can find the nearest fuel station right on the app's fuel map, or even filter locations based on their preferred merchant or fuel type. It's seamless. Just a quick enter of the pump number and you're ready to fuel up. Car IQ Pay generates an automatic virtual receipt that enters into a single transaction ledger, giving fleet operators a complete simplified view of their total spend. What's even more, Car IQ Pay gathers vehicle data to give fleets complete transparency into their fleet, from route behavior to overall share of wallet. Car IQ, the better way for fleets to pay. Find out more at gocariq.com.
Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing, or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
Your car deserves more than just any pit stop. At Lucas Oil Center, we deliver award-winning service you can trust. From fast oil changes, our 21-point inspection, and a coffee bar with a smile, it's all done right, every time. While you relax in our spacious lounge, we're making sure your car runs at its best. And with our signature Nitro Wash, your ride won't just run smooth, it'll shine like new. Drive safe, drive smart. Choose your local, family-owned Lucas Oil Center.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I'm faster than you. Yeah, well, I'm gnarlier than you.
I get more sideways.
I'm louder.
Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder.
Slicker.
Cooler.
Tougher.
Let's go.
So what you got?
P1 Australia Racing Components, sprint cars, midgets, and micros, specializing in engine heaters, oil heat mats, stainless headers, and black titanium. World headquarters in Indianapolis and also serving New Zealand and Australia. P1 ships daily. Visit our website at p1australia.com. P1 Australia Racing Components. For pricing, info, and more, slide into our Facebook and Instagram.
Who's it gonna be? Aberdeen steals it here tonight.
Power up your ride with True Brand Fuel Joules, the only time-release fuel treatment on the market. Fuel Joules cleans and lubricates while restoring power and performance, and its patented time-release formula increases fuel economy by up to 7%, saving you money at the pump, tank full after tank full. Plus, Fuel Joules races for a cause. We partner with the National Breast Cancer Foundation to fund life-saving early detection screenings for women in need. Visit TrueBrandProducts.com to get your bottle today.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. Just a couple of minutes before we get into opening ceremonies here. Crew's going out and applying some more lines to the walls to help the drivers differentiate between the edge of the track and the edge of the concrete. Of course, we'll have a little bit of break in the action before we kick things back off in the month of April, and we're going to do so with the Chuckamatti Classic. That's going to be at the 3/8 mile oval in Paragon, Indiana, Paragon Speedway. That's going to be on April 4th. On the 11th, it'll be our first trip of the season for the Justin Owen Memorial. That's going to be at Lawrenceburg. And then Sunday the 12th, Terre Haute Action Track, the Hurtubise. Sprint cars taking on the half mile. Start of the season for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. We're talking Kokomo Grand Prix. That is going to be at Kokomo Speedway. That'll be on April 24th and 25th. Bloomington Speedway on May 1st, Paragon on the 2nd, and then the Silver Crown Series. They kick off their season out of the Kansas State Fairgrounds. That'll be on May 9th. Of course, you can see the entire lineup of events for every division of the United States Auto Club when you go to USACRacing.com when it comes to circle track competition. And again, while you're there, at the top of the website, there is the USAC Shield. You can click next to that, and that will take you over to UnitedStatesAutoClub.com because USAC is not just circle track racing. It is very much all-encompassing when it comes to racing action. Everything from the dirt tracks to road racing to off-road and even power sports, the NASCAR Youth Series and beyond, all falls under USAC sanction. So if you'd like to find out more about that, again, the website is UnitedStatesAutoClub.com. So officials back in place, the lines have been drawn, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Would you please rise for tonight's invocation and national anthem? If you would please remove non-religious headgear. Out of respect to those who serve this nation and in honor of those who have given their lives in her defense. If you would be willing, bow your head with us this evening. Our Father in heaven, as always, before we go to you to ask of you, we would go to you to give thanks for you. Your grace, your glory, your teachings, and above all, Lord, it is your forgiveness which we are most thankful for we fail to live up to your expectations at times. But for those of us who would turn to you, you would bring us back to your side and to your way. And Lord, tonight we would ask of you. We ask that you would watch over these drivers as always, that the competitive nature, that fire that drives them to be here, it would never fade. But the ideals of sportsmanship, fairness, friendship, these are the virtues that would prevail in that moment that could be a lifetime of anger and a lifetime of regret. We ask not only that you watch over the drivers who would compete here tonight, but you would watch over everybody who has gathered upon these grounds and give thanks we are able to do so freely in this country. We ask all these things and give thanks in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Down into the infield and get ready to go. Our first of 3 heat races brought to you by K1 Race Gear. K1 Race Gear is proud to be one of the very few companies to outfit any driver from kids at K1 Speed to USAC champions with priorities on safety, quality, and comfort. K1 ensures every driver feels confident and prepared to pursue their racing dreams. Wear K1 Race Gear and join their list of champions today. You can learn more at k1racegear.com. Again, 8 times around, everybody's moving on into the feature event. However, you still need to be in the top 6 in order to get your time back and qualify for the inversion, as your lineup for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1 set to hit the green flag like this on the pole at Oxnard, California. The Superior Tank and Trailer, Sends and Power, DRC, Physical Medicine Consultants, number 41. It'll be Ricky Lewis. Outside the opening row is Tom Harris out of Banbury, Oxfordshire, United Kingdom, driving the Skegness Raceway. Project 12 Spray Coating, Simonites.com, number 84. Second row for the inside, it'll be Briggs Danner. He's out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Schneider & Sons Recycling. Ryder DRC, Keystone Cap, number 39. And for the 4th starting spot, he's out of Anaheim, California. The Inland Rigging, One-Way DRC. Roll Scaffolding, Snake Enterprises, number 5T of Jake Swanson. 5th starter is your defending USAC National Sprint Car Champion at Princeton, Indiana. Driver the Avante Windows and Doors, Jugo Superfoods, Premier Recycling, Stanton Mach 1, number 3P. That will be Kyle Cummins. And your Learn Lab Quick Qualifier to the right of run number 3 here in Heat Race number 1 at Devine, California. The NOS Energy Drink, MPV Logistics, Top Industries, number 4. That'll be Justin Grand. Final row for the inside, Logan Calderwood. He's out of Goodyear, Arizona. Driver the MP Environmental, JST Shock Technologies, Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor, number 6. And your final starter is set to be Greg Mitchell out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. The Larry Mitchell Mobile Home Movers, McDonald Power, GF1 Chassis, Jack Vaughn Trucking 001. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1 of 3 tonight with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. So again, every time drivers are on track throughout the course of Winter Dirt Games competition presented by Yokohama Tire here at Ocala, they have been gathering event points. And the top 5 in those event points at the close of tonight's program, they're going to lock into tomorrow's 10,000 win feature event. Everybody else going into the qualifying races to try to fight their way into the show. Of course, if you want to know who is leading the way in your Winter Dirt Games point standings, it is identical to our series point standings. And again, a $24,000 point fund, thanks in part to the great support by Yokohama Tire. $12,000 to the champion of this year's edition of Winter Dirt Games. Again, not much going on during the month of March. We come back on Saturday, April 4th, the Paragon Speedway. We talked about that a little bit earlier. That will be the Chuck Amati Classic at the 3/8 mile oval. Lawrenceburg and Terre Haute on the 11th and 12th, the 24th and the 25th is when the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship fires off their season. The Kokomo Grand Prix, that'll be at Kokomo Speedway. Once we get in the month of May, though, that's when things really begin to pick up. Bloomington, Tri-State, Salt City, Silver Crown kicking off their season. Let's Race 2, where we go side by side with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. That'll be on May 15th and 16th. Back to Terre Haute for the Tony Holman Classic. Circle City Salute, the Hoosier 100, the Corn Belt Clash. Of course, you can see the entire lineup of USAC Circle Track events when you go online to USACRacing.com. Kyle Cummins, Ricky Lewis, and Logan Seavey all picking up heat race wins one night ago. CU finds her way to the top of the list here in heat race action tonight. Ricky Lewis, Tom Harris, runner number 1. Briggs Danner, Jake Swanson, Kyle Cummins, Justin Grant, Logan Calderwood, Greg Mitchell. Round of the NOS Energy start can. We're underway here in K1 Race Gear heat race number 1. Deal going to take off onto the back straightaway. Ricky Lewis jumping out with the early advantage. Tom Harris spinning up the charge of the 39 machine of Briggs Danner for the time being. They'll come around. Opening lap. It is Lewis in command. Harris trying to hold on to that second spot. Danner has something to say about it. He says, "It's mine. Give it to me." They work to the back straightaway, and he will take over that second spot here as they work into turns 3 and 4 up the racetrack. Now Jake Swanson along with the 3P of Kyle Cummins, both coming after the 84 machine. Got the 4 Justin Grant riding along there as well. 3 wide for third. Harris on the outside is going to hold on to it. Cummins still right there. The 5T is still right there. Once again, Kyle going to take a look to the inside. Swanson on the back bumper, the 84. Now he'll drop to the deck over in turns 1 and 2. Advantage still to Harris, able to carry that momentum around on the back straightaway. In the meantime, Danner is starting to reel in Ricky Lewis, see if he can challenge for the top spot as they come around to the cross flags. 4 in, 4 to go. Heat race number 1 starting off with a bang here. Heck of a battle for the third spot. 3rd, 4th, and 5th all up for grabs right now. You got Danner sneaking down to the inside on Ricky Lewis, looking for the lead. Couldn't quite get it that time. Nearly taking the whiskers off of the front of the 39. Lewis putting that back bumper right back in front of him here as they work into turns 3 and 4. Danner up the speedway, now dimes it back down to the middle, still to the advantage of the D Transport number 41 as they've got 2 to go. White flag coming this time. Ricky Lewis trying to get them elbows up and make that car as wide as possible as that battle for third continues to be a fantastic one here. Tom Harris continues to hold the position. Swanson, though, this time with a better run around to the front straightaway. Got it. He'll move up to the bottom step of the podium here. Danner, ooh, man, he got that thing up at the right rear. Thought he was going to go for a tumble there for a second. Sets it back down, but that's all he needed. He'll come off of turn number 4, and he'll pick up K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1, Ricky Lewis of 41. Briggs Danner in 2nd, Jake Swanson in 3rd, Kyle Cummins steals away 4th on the final lap. Tom Harris back to 5th, and Justin Grant unofficially with that final ticket into the inversion. Calderwood and Moles finishing 7th and 8th. So Justin Grant in 6th, Tom Harris in 5th, Kyle Cummins in 4th, Jake Swanson in 3rd, Briggs Danner in 2nd. Winner in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1 comes to you out of Oxnard, California. Driver of the physical medicine consultant, Superior Tank and Trailer, Mesilla Valley Transportation, sends the number 41 race fans. Give him a hand, Ricky Lewis. Coming to a stop down to the front straightaway. Let's go down to Drake.
3rd heat race win of the week for the Californian Ricky Lewis. He gets the job done in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. As a matter of fact, 2 heat race wins in a row for you, Ricky. Last night you told me after your heat race win you thought you'd figure some stuff out. Unfortunately, the end result wasn't that you were hoping for. So what was the biggest thing you learned last night in the feature event that you could apply tonight to maybe have a bit of a better run at it?
Oh, we just struggled so bad. I was having something good go for me last night, and I screwed it up myself. So I apologize to my guys, but yeah, I just cannot get qualified here. It's really a struggle for me to get off turn 4 there. So that whole heat race, I was just trying different things to see what worked best with my race car to get off of turn 4, and saw Briggs there, and I kind of just went into protect mode. It's really tough to pass here. So yeah, I mean, winning heat races usually isn't a good thing in USAC because it means you didn't qualify very good and you started up front in the heat race. But that's what we got to do, I guess, is to, you know, and I think we'll start 7th or 8th now. So at least, you know, starting position, track position is a lot here at this racetrack, and hopefully I don't screw it up.
Ricky Lewis picks up the win in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Brian, his main rig is currently out on the West Coast in California, actually borrowing a trailer from Kayla Rails race operation in the state of Indiana. So a little bit of a borrowed equipment, but the racing community is always so awesome and coming together to make sure everybody makes it to the racetrack. So cool to see Ricky have some success, and cool for the Rail family to loan that trailer to him to make it down to Florida.
Always cool to see other teams jumping in and helping out like that as we roll into TJ Ford's heat race number 2. The driver slated for the poles at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Concord American Flagpole Racer Magazine. Jim Weed, Chris Dyson, number 20. It's going to be the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. Outside of him, you'll find Gunnar Setzer at Columbus, Indiana, the Superior Ag, Daywig Meat, Stanton Flea RC, Chrome Dome, number 5G. Second row from the inside, he's out of Rockland, California, the Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Service, Donut DRC, Berks Western Telecom, number 12, the Madman, Robert Blue. And next to him, last night's feature winner at Sutter, California, the Mount Mechanical Contractors, Dropline, Indy Power Sports, Stanton DRC number 57. That will be Logan Seavey. Third row from the inside, Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. The Majestic Electric, Inland Rigging, Stanton Mach 1 Chassis, Rocksteady Racing number 3R. And outside of him, the Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, Stanton's Bike number 19AZ. At Raisin City, California, that will be Mitchell Moles. Final row from the inside, 7 starter is going to be Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana. The Curb Records, Coletta Charters, Mechanical Advantage number 63. And your final starter is set to be Chase Howard out of Nesbitt, Mississippi, the Two Fellows Moving Company. ShopAngryDuck.com, Rodna Supply, Howard Racing Engine number 13. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for TJ Ford's Heat Race number 2. Field going to make their way around to the Toyota Racing Development Pace Truck. TJ Ford's Wheels was founded to build the best, no compromises, Ford's wheels for the motorsports industry. Product quality, safety, and customer service are the driving factors for TJ Ford's, and they are committed to being your first and only call for racing wheels. Go to tjfords.com to get started today. Logan Seavey carrying our Steeda onboard camera here tonight. Real quick, let's check in with Drake.
Chase Howard is a scratch out of this heat race. They have not been able to find out what is wrong with that primary motor, so they're just electing to swap the power plants. Also wanted to update Kobe Simpson, the other Howard Racing car, done for the evening. Too much damage on the engine after that fireball he had in Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
Tough break for both drivers in the Howard Racing camp here tonight as we get ready to go to green in TJ Ford's Heat Race number 2. Bacon sets her on row number 1. They bring it to the NOS Energy start can. We're underway. Brady going to take off with the race lead. Robert Ballou quickly working that inside line. He'll take over second here. Sets her back to third. Seavey riding in the 4th spot. Battle for 5th. The 3R, Kevin Thomas Jr. working down to the bottom. Mitchell Moles going to hold the position. The 63 of Cale Coons right now running at your field in 7th. Onto the far side of the Speedway, and Brady Bacon setting a torrid pace in this one. Got a quick look there from Logan Seavey in the 57. The mud flies as they continue to make their way around the Ocala Speedway, chasing right now the 5G of Gunnar Setzer. They're chasing Robert Ballou in that 2nd spot as they work into turns 3 and 4. Robert going to go ahead and pin it down to the bottom of the exit. Turn number 4 brings it up across the racetrack. He trails by 1.360 seconds to Brady Bacon. As Seavey keeps pace ahead of Mitchell Moles. Kevin Thomas Jr. still riding that 6th spot. KTJ with the best qualifying run he's had so far here at Ocala, as the team had been fighting fueling issues yesterday, ended up resulting in an engine change, and right now sits on the bubble of holding on to his lap time and staying in the inversion here as they come around to twin flags and 2 to go. Cale Coons, a driver, chasing him in 7th. If we look back to Brady Bacon, he'll come around this time to find the lap coat flying, and he has just steadily pulled away Robert Ballou, now trailing by 2.3 seconds. The fight for 3rd. It's been kind of a game of peekaboo here. The 57, he's peaked high, he's peaked low, and the 5G each time is there to say, boo, you can't get by. As now Moles tries to take a run at the position here. Couldn't grab away 4th as they work onto the back straightaway. Leader in the meantime, round to the front straightaway. It is all Brady Bacon here in TJ Ford's Heat Race number 2. Robert Ballou in 2nd, Gunnar Setzer in 3rd, Logan Seavey, Mitchell Moles, and Kevin Thomas Jr. They will hold on to their time and go into the inversion. Cale Coons and Chase Howard unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, driving the Concord America Flagpole Racer Magazine, Jim Weed, rider, XXX number 20 race fans. Give him a hand, Brady Bacon. Robert Ballou in 2nd, Gunnar Setzer in 3rd, Logan Seavey in 4th, Mitchell Moles in 5th, Kevin Thomas Jr. in 6th, Cale Coons in 7th, and unfortunately Chase Howard not able to make the call. Let's head down trackside.
Leading every lap tonight, taking that TJ Ford Heat Race 2 win for the night, Brady Bacon. Now, a very out-of-character qualifying run for you. How did you and your crew adjust for tonight's heat race?
Well, yeah, we just drawn early. Here's not the ticket, and we kind of thought it was still going to be greasy and got too tight. So a lot of good cars here, so the qualifying was really tight, and had to start on the front row and had to win that race. So kind of salvaged our night, and we'll see we can make our car better and pass some cars in the future.
Well, he went 2nd last night, so we'll have to see how he goes tonight. Brady Bacon taking that TJ Ford Heat Race 2.
Thank you very much. K&N Filters Heat Race number 3 next on the card. The driver to Greenfield, Indiana, going to be in the pole. And the Kodiak Products, Trepano Trucking, Highsmith Guns, One-Way DRC number 30. It's going to be C.J. Leary. Outside of him, you'll find Shelby Hinton at a W Louisiana, the Pendleton Farms, West River Trailer Sales, Claxton DRC, DG Racing, and Bennick Enterprises number 2B. Second row from the inside, Harley Burns at a Brazil, Indiana, the Britt Arrow, Timberland Lumber Company, the AceCorp.com number 16. And outside of him, from the fourth starting spot, Jaden Rogers at a Worthington, Indiana, the Beasley's Railcar Repair Spec DRC, Parallax Motorsports number 14. Third row from the inside, Chase Stockin at a Fort Branch, Indiana, the England Machine and Tool, Lucas Oil Center, S&T Auto, Ted Brown Quality Paint and Body, Moose Racing number 92. Next to him, it will be Tall, Trey Osborne at Columbus, Ohio, the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Mopar Triple X, Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, Larry Ebert owned, number 6. Final starter is set to be Ryan Harrison out of Rothwell, Northamptonshire, United Kingdom. Driver the Beeson's Products, Huntapack. Shebden Crane Hire, Kirky Seats, Seminites.com, number 97 UK. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for K&N Filters Heat Race number 3. Make sure to swing by before you leave. K&N Filters set up just outside of the main gate, back where all the merchandise is set up. And, of course, when you get done there, asking about filters for your vehicle or even your home, you can swing by the USAC merchandise trailer and pick up your Winter Dirt Games t-shirt. K&N bringing you the Clean Air Award, which is presented to the driver who leads the most laps during each USAC National A feature throughout the 2026 season. The award is designed to recognize sustained performance at the front of the field where engine efficiency, reliability, and meticulous preparation are at a premium. Shop for your own vehicle now at knfilters.com. C.J. Leary slated for the pole position. Started the week off with a 4th place run at Volusia. Night number 2 was a 7th. Night number 1 here at Ocala, likewise a 7th place finish. A 12th place run last night. Winner here twice in his career, 2019 and 2024. He was 3rd 1 year ago here in Friday competition. Shelby Hinton, one of our drivers, vying for that Max Pappas Innovations Rookie of the Year award. Again, not only does he get the MPI steering wheel, but also a $5,000 bonus. It'll be between him and Cale Coons here in 2026. Harley Burns in the 16, Jaden Rogers in the 14, making it burn number 2. Chase Stockin in the 92, Trey Osborne in the 16, and Ryan Harrison set to round out your lineup. Harrison, a Brisca F1 stock car champion in the British, European, and National Series. 18 years behind the wheel, started his racing career in mini stocks. Toyota Racer Development pace truck going to make its way down into the infield. Look for the green this time at the exit to number 4. The NOS Energy Star Can side by side, nose to tail through that point. Leary brings him to green. CJ going to take off at the top spot as the field bolts onto the back straightaway. Hinton chasing as they work into turns 3 and 4. The 2B going to go ahead and turn quick. Tries the bottom to get a run. Nothing happening. Leary leads on line number 1. Hinton now with Jaden Rogers coming after him. You got a pair of battles on the racetrack. The 6T challenged by Harley Burns there for a moment. Osborne able to fend him off for the time being. As Jaden trying to steal away that second spot. He rides in 3rd, working the low line at both ends of the speedway right now. So far, Shelby Hinton able to keep the Bennick Enterprises 2B out in front of him here in that second spot. They work into turns 3 and 4. Both drivers working middle to bottom side of the speedway. That time at the line, Jaden Rogers by 1,000th of a second. Steals the spot away, slides it up, secures the deal as they work onto the back straightaway. Battle going on behind them. The 92 of Chase Stockin coming up on the 6T of Trey Osborne trying to get by him. Dive to the inside, exit to number 4. The Moose Racing 92, got him. He'll take away the 4th spot. Trey Osborne back to 5th. Harley Burns and Ryan Harrison right now running out your running order. Starting to close in and challenge for the lead. Here comes Jaden Rogers. He'll set his sights on C.J. Leary. Hustling her onto the back straightaway here. Leary working top of 3. Rogers still committed down to that bottom side. Has a good run, close to a couple of car links once again. White flag coming next time when they work off at turn number 4. Leary has got his hands full. Jaden Rogers not going away here as they work into turns 3 and 4. Leary steps her up to the top once again. Jaden Rogers down to the bottom. Nearly pulls the Hoosiers off of the ground as they come around to the wave of the white flag. They were nearly dead even. 0.041 seconds was the difference at the line. Leary, 2 more turns to hold on to it. Adjusts down to the bottom side of the speedway. Gets them elbows out and holds on for the heat race win here in K&N Filters heat race number 3. Jaden Rogers in second. Chase Stocking in third. Shelby Hinton, Trey Osborne, Harley Burns, and Ryan Harrison. Unofficially rounding out your field. Fight to the finish in that one for the driver to Greenfield, Indiana. The Kodiak Products One Way, DRC, Trepano Trucking, Highsmith Guns, FK Rodness, number 30. Race fans, give him a hand. C.J. Leary. Jaden Rogers in second. Chase Stockton in third. Shelby Hinton, Trey Osborne, Harley Burns. They go on into the inversion. Ryan Harrison unofficially rounding out your field down trackside.
Second heat race win of the week for Greenfield, Indiana. C.J. Leary aboard the Leary family number 30 machine. C.J. Leary joining the 500 Starts Club here last night with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship. And C.J., Jaden gave you a run for your money at the very end of that one. First off, was it a surprise to see him there? And second, what'd you have to do to hold him off at the very end?
No, not at all. This thing's got a parachute tied to the back of it. It's so slow this week. Hunter Maddox, Jason Jones, and I have been wearing the bolts out on it. We've changed about everything on it. It's a little different package than what I typically bring to Florida, and it's kind of biting me right now. Wish we could go back to the shop and regroup, but this is what we got. Can't thank everybody that's helped us out this week and get down here and do some racing, but man, racing can be frustrating sometimes.
C.J. Leary still with some work to do, but for now, he's the winner of K&N Filters heat race number 3.
Indeed, thank you very much as we get ready to go into our IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Light Heat races. Again, each of these 8 laps in distance. Everybody moving on into the feature event as well in your mod lights. So a quick check of the lineup here for heat race number 1 for your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights. You'll find Scott Jordan. He's a Divider, Texas, in the Jordan Marine Sidewinder number 8. Outside of him, the LR8. Ronnie Schote out of Cookeville, Tennessee. Winner here a couple of nights ago. In the BSB Manufacturing LR8. The B7 going to go from the 3rd starting spot. Leighton Bennett. And the Triton Incorporated, Sam and Joni Construction, number B7. And next to him is going to be Billy Beard out of Farmington, Missouri. The Expert Powder Coating, Bulldog Chassis, number 28B. The 777 out of Port St. Lucie, Florida. The Pierman Diesel Solutions, Colorado Pond, 777 of Dylan Pierman. And from the 6th starting spot, it will be James Very. He's out of Clewiston, Florida, in the number 3. The 10BG, Brandon Sturgis out of Seaford, Delaware, driving the Grain Train LLC. Fly-by Ag Services, Superior Steering Wheel number 10. He'll go from 7th. From 8th, that will be Bill Leonard. He's out of Lehigh Acres, Florida. And the Leonard Racing entry. And the 722, that will be Jaden McDowell out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The Triton Incorporated, Innovative Steelworks, Predator Chassis 722, your former Tennessee Mod Light champion. Set to round out your lineup here in heat race number 1. Again, a special thanks to Stealth Racing, bringing you your IMCA Mod Lights this week. Superior Race Cars, Innovation Industries Incorporated, General Elevator Solutions, Pro Painters, Edge Elevator Products, Sunoco Race Fuels, and Dirts for Racing. So your mod light set to go to green real quick, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Lindsay Sitbon. Lindsay Sitbon. You are tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner. You and a guest get to ride in the pace truck and watch the action from the infield. Make your way to the USAC merchandise trailer immediately. We're underway. Mod Lights putting on quite the show here last night. They'll come around to open things up here. Lap number 1 and heat race number 1. And it will be the 8. Show taking off with the advantage. Scott Jordan, your pole sitter, falls to second in the opening lap. The 28B of Billy Beard. Jaden McDowell and Leighton Bennett right now your top 5. Again, 8 laps of distance here for your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights. Everybody moving on into the feature event. And again, the lineup into the heat races straight up by their qualifying time. So your quick qualifier to the pole, second quick outside, and so on. And that'll be much of the same going on into your feature event. It'll be straight up by the finishes. All your winners, second place, third place, everybody grouped together all the way down. As they come around this time to the cross flags, 4 in, 4 to go. The 8 of Jordan's getting wound up here. He's going to drive to the inside, up the racetrack, scrubs off a little bit too much speed, and Schultz able to keep him at bay for the time being. The 2023 IMCA Super Nationals champion continues to hold sway on the field here. Scott Jordan trying to rebuild that momentum and see if he can reel them in. Pair battles. You got McDowell, who has run down Beard and has snipped the whiskers off of him for the time being. He's taken him to that third spot here as they work into turns 3 and 4. Traded up around to the front straightaway. Beard going to retake it. Try to grow that lead back out in that third spot. Not quite. Here comes the Triton Predator entry on the outside. McDowell with a great run coming off of turn number 2. Going to get back up and take a little bit of bronze back in his pocket here. Works back by Billy Beard Bennett in that 5th spot, watching it all go down. Meanwhile, white flag has flown. Checkered flag set to come out in this one. And the driver out of Cookeville, Tennessee, going to start his night off with a victory. The BSB Manufacturing entry of Ronnie Schote gets the job done. Scott Jordan in second. Jaden McDowell in third. Billy Beard and Leighton Bennett unofficially going to round out your top 5. So just like that, heat race number 1 in the books here for the Mod Lights. Your winners out of Cookeville, Tennessee. Driver the Crutchfield Performance, Automotive Specialties, Precision Auto Body number LR8. Race fans, give him a hand. Ronnie Schote. Top 3 will head on to the scales. Those located right as they exit the racetrack. Heat race number 2, Ryan McKinney, V75 out of Camden, Delaware, in the McKinney Towing entry. Set to lead him down to the drop of the green flag. The 10B going to line up next to him. That, Brandon Dennis out of Greenwood, Delaware. The Gary Simpson Contracting, Wolf Machine, number 10B. The 25 of Pierce Aiken out of Lake Worth, Florida, the Joker Chassis entry. His first appearance of the week here. He'll have Jagger Beard out of Farmington, Missouri next to him. The Billy Beard Electric Bulldog Chassis number 35. Riley Clem in the 9, looking to start a little bit further ahead here tonight. Remember, yesterday started 26. Drove it up, nearly got the win in the Rodney and Candy Clem Evolution Chassis number 9C. He'll go for the inside of row number 3. Tyler Gary, Royal Palm Beach, Florida resident, in the number 26. He'll go from the 6 starting spot. Larry Hubbard Jr. to Cape Coral in the 56. And the 721, Jean-Francois LeBlanc. Set to round out your lineup. It comes to you to Wickham, Quebec, Canada. We're underway. Field underway and on to the far side of the Speedway. We'll see who has the advantage on lap number 1. So far, it is your pole sitter in the V75. Trying to keep her on all fours tonight. It has a motorcycle engine in it, but 2 wheels not the way to get around in these things. Brandon Dennis in second, Pierce Aiken in third, Jagger Beard, Riley Clem right now. That's your top 5 as they roll into turns 3 and 4. One driver way up top over in turns 3 and 4. That's going to cost him. That was the 35 of Jagger Beard. Riley Clem able to make his way by. Challenge for the second spot. Pierce Aiken, again, first time we've seen him so far this week at Ocala. Trying to get up there and challenge. He's going to go ahead and pin her down to the bottom. Problems for your leader, the V75. A big-time bobble at the exit to number 4. Able to save the car, but it's going to cost him. Went for the candy jar, but Mom walked through the door. Got slapped on the wrist and dropped back to third. Now trying to fend off the charge of Riley Clem as that challenge for the lead continues to be a good one. Aiken, well, he's aching for a win here, and right now he's got the top spot as they work onto the far side of the racetrack. He'll drop Brandon Dennis back to second. Now see if he can extend his lead as, oh my, we've got one taking care of the Mosquitoes. That's Clem in the 9. He will grenade the engine and smoke her to a stop here on the front straightaway. Caution. Tough break as he had a decent run going here tonight. An impressive run last night, but he's going to pop out of the top of the car. Race fans, give him a hand. He was a show here yesterday. So the tragedy of the blown engine, the service of wiping out whatever mosquitoes might have been populating. As Pierce Aiken in the 25, taking over the top spot. Him and Brandon Dennis have had a really good battle going. Ryan McKinney had the position. Turn 4 nearly bites him again. Goes first to third. Jagger Beard going to restart in the 4th spot. And Jean-Francois should now round out your top 5. So again, single file on the restart, and that means the restart zone begins on the back straightaway between the FloRacing and the AMSOIL banner. There is a red pole there that has the traffic light affixed to it. It took the final restart in a one-lap shootout for a driver to finally take advantage of that restart zone and a $50 bribe to go ahead and do it. So from here, all the way to the exit to number 4, when the leader fires, it's game on for the field. But until he gets on the gas, he's in control of this train. And he's the first one to utilize it during a heat race, getting on the gas on the entrance of turn number 3. Again, yesterday, it was a snail's pace all the way to the exit to number 4 up until the final caution of the night. And this time, Pierce Aiken. He's going to go ahead and take off a little bit early here as they come around this time to 2 to go. Challenge for the second spot, trying to get back up into it here. Rolls the V75, every position worth about a row and a half here. When it comes to the A-feature lineup, as they're going to work into turns 3 and 4. Final trip around begins right now. Trying to carry that momentum on the outside. We'll see if he can close in enough here as they make their way into the final 2 turns. Not going to happen. Checkered flag going to drop in this one. And Pierce Aiken coming away with a heat race win. Second goes to Ryan McKinney. Brandon Dennis holds on to third. Jagger Beard gave him a run, couldn't get there. Jean-Francois Leblanc, he's going to cross in 5th. Gary Hubbard and Clem, unfortunately, a DNF here in heat race number 2. But how about a hand, race fans? The Joker chassis number 25, your winner, Pierce Aiken. So remember, your heat race winners, they end up in a redraw. As round 3 of heat race competition here for the Mod Lights makes its way out, Carson Hubbard out of Frederickstown, Ohio, the Velocity RPM. Aunt Tracy, sponsor number 11C, set to go from the pole. Last night's winner, Corey Babbitt out of New Caney, Texas. The TSM Shocks MMW Motors Babbitt Race Cars number 12. Going to go from second. The 16 of Tim White out of Salisbury, Maryland. The Midcoast Siding. Plum Creek Farms number 16. He'll go from third. Joseph Dunlap out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. The Triton Incorporated Track Magic number 11. He'll go from fourth. The 7B of Wayne Smith out of Fort Pierce, Florida. He's slated to go from the 5th starting spot. The 57. Jeffrey Bernard Lacombe out of Quebec, Canada. The Masonry Bricknet Edge Race Cars number 57. He'll go from 6th. Sam Blaise in the 13. He is out of Alberta, driving the Masonry Bricknet Pro Chassis number 13. And the 88, Braden Benson, driver to Hardscrabble, Delaware. Set to round out your field. Caution lights are dark. The NOS Energy Star Can exit turn number 4. That's where they will find the throttle as we're underway. Charge and topside, bringing momentum onto the backstretch. Challenge for the lead. Your front row swapping spots here as they work into turns at 3 and 4. Now he'll drive to the bottom and protect the line. Babbitt in 12, showing he's not done from last night. Comes up into the race lead, the 11 of Hubbard, right now running in that second position. Third as they work onto the back straightaway. Currently in the hands of the 16 of Tim White. Dunlap and Smith currently making the top 5. Driver pacing around the bottom side of the speedway in 7. That's Smith. He's trying to hold off Benson, but Benson at the line edged him out by 0.014 seconds. Now going to lose the spot as they work on to the back stretch. Later in the meantime, working around to the front stretch, it is still Babbitt. Again, making the trip out of New Caney, Texas, in that TSM Shock Babbitt built number 12. Picked up his first win of the season last night. Still has the 11C of Carson Hubbard chasing him, the Midway Speedway track champion the last 2 years running. Takes the Velocity RPM. Superior Race Cars entry up to the top and 1, brings it across and down to the bottom of the exit turn number 2. Problems for the 88. He is down off of the racetrack on that apron just this side of victory lane. Now going to go ahead and make his way clear down onto pit road. As Tim White continues to hold on to third, Wayne Smith, Joseph Dunlap, Sam Blaise, Jeffrey Bernard Lacombe. Now rounding out your field, Benson, done early. White flag coming next time at the exit turn at number 4. Babbitt has opened it up to nearly 1.3 seconds. And Tim White might have a little bit of company here on the closing laps. Wayne Smith in the 7B inching closer to him here with 1 to go. Final trip down the back straightaway, coming up on a slower car here as he works into turns 3 and 4. The 57 going to go ahead and stick to the top. Leader's going to go down to the bottom. He's going to get this one with ease. The 12 of Corey Babbitt. Taking the TSM Shocks Babbitt race car number 12 up to the top of the podium here. Wins heat race number 3. Carson Hubbard in second. Tim White in third. Wayne Smith, Joseph Dunlap, Sam Blaise, Jeffrey Bernard Lacombe, and Braden Benson, unfortunately a DNF in 88. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he's at New Caney, Texas. Give him a hand. Corey Babbitt in 12. So lineups getting squared away for the feature event, waiting for the horn to sound down in the pit area. Once that ends, that will start the 8-minute clock for the drivers to present out to the Speedway and be ready to go. So I'll give you just a couple of minutes to go grab yourself something to eat and something to drink. Swing back into the merchandise area. As here on the FloRacing broadcast, we're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back.
There's a thrill on Red Hill, the Blackjack City of Sumner, and there.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Hey race fans, have you set your Dirt Draft lineup yet? Dirt Draft is the fantasy racing app you can download right on your phone. Pick a team of 5 drivers within your $100,000 salary cap, and the better they do, the better you do. You earn points to spend in the Dirt Draft Speed Shop for all kinds of cool stuff, from t-shirts and hats, race tickets and pit passes, or even a season pass to FloRacing. New subscribers even get a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. Download the Dirt Draft app now from the Apple app or Google Play Store.
Your car deserves more than just any pit stop. At Lucas Oil Center, we deliver award-winning service you can trust. From fast oil changes, our 21-point inspection, and a coffee bar with a smile, it's all done right, every time. While you relax in our spacious lounge, we're making sure your car runs at its best. And with our signature Nitro Wash, your ride won't just run smooth, it'll shine like new. Drive safe, drive smart. Choose your local, family-owned Lucas Oil Center.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I'm faster than you. Yeah, well, I'm gnarlier than you. I get more sideways. I'm louder. Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder.
Slicker.
Cooler.
Tougher.
Let's go.
So what you got?
P1 Australia Racing Components, sprint cars, midgets, and micros, specializing in engine heaters, oil heat mats, stainless headers, and black titanium. World headquarters in Indianapolis and also serving New Zealand and Australia. P1 ships daily. Visit our website at p1australia.com. P1 Australia Racing Components. For pricing, info, and more, slide into our Facebook and Instagram.
Power up your ride with True Brand Fuel Joules, the only time-release fuel treatment on the market. Fuel Joules cleans and lubricates while restoring power and performance, and its patented time-release formula increases fuel economy by up to 7%, saving you money at the pump, tank full after tank full. Plus, Fuel Joules races for a cause. We partner with the National Breast Cancer Foundation to fund life-saving early detection screenings for women in need. Visit TrueBrandProducts.com to get your bottle today.
Hi there, it's Genevieve Malone, and I'm here with our friends at K&N Filters to do our cookout shake of the race. Here I have...
I'm Lucas Woodbridge.
And Lucas is guessing Mitchell Mole's favorite flavor from cookout. So from Mitchell Mole's, what is your guess?
I am gonna have to go with a classic, so chocolate chip mint.
Okay, chocolate chip mint. Let's see if that is it.
My favorite cookout shake flavor is M&M.
Mitchell Mole's favorite flavor is actually M&M.
Oh, what?
M&M. I think there's some alliteration with him. But if you would like to try Cookout, you can go to cookout.com to find their nearest locations.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. Friday night here in Ocala, and again, event points being stacked up to set the stage for tomorrow. The top 5 of those points will lock in to your 10,000 to win championship feature event. Everybody else into the qualifying races. So again, time starting to run out for teams to begin making their way out to the Speedway. See a few teams starting to parade out onto the racetrack. We check in on Logan Seavey's on board. P1 Australia bringing you this view as he makes his way through the pits. So the 5 drivers currently atop of Winter Dirt Games points. Seavey and Cummins both tied right now. Brady Bacon currently 3rd, Stockton in 4th, and Trey Osborne is currently in 5th. So again, those are the 5 drivers coming into tonight who occupy those 5 lock-in positions. We'll see how things shake out when the checkered flag drops here this evening. But the fields beginning to make their way out. Round 5 of Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama. It's round 5 of the 2026 season. 5 more laps on the card to 35 and 7,500 to the winner here this evening. Your lineup for your A main for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship set to roll to the green like this. On the pole tonight, he comes to you out of Fort Branch, Indiana, driving the England Machine and Tool, Lucas Oil Center, Kistler, DRC, Moose Racing, number 92, it'll be Chase Stockton. Outside row number 1, he's out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Majestic Electric, Inland Rigging, Bird Racing, Stanton Mach 1, Rock City Racing, number 3R, Kevin Thomas Jr. Out of Princeton, Indiana, from the 3rd starting spot, in the Avante Windows and Doors, Jugo Superfoods, Premier Recycling, Lifestyle Homes, Lucas Oil Center, Petty Performance Racing, number 3P, that will be Kyle Cummins. And from 4th, he's out of Columbus, Ohio, driving the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, Mopar, Triple X, Beachwold Automotive, number 6T, it's tall, Trey Osborne. Next row from the inside, you'll find Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical, Messina Transportation, Stanton Spike, number 19, AZ, he'll roll from 5th. And from 6th tonight, out of Aero, Timberland Lumber Company, Youngblood Farms, number 16. And up by the wall is going to be Tom Harris out of Vanbury, Oxfordshire, United Kingdom, the Skegness Raceway, Project 12 Spray Coating, 7nice.com, Huntapack, number 84. Going to your next row for the inside line, Gunnar Setzer to Columbus, Indiana, Superior Ag, Daywick Meets Davis Brothers, Stanton Flea RC Chassis, number 5G. Outside of him, it will be Shelby Hinton. In the Pendleton Farms, West River Trailer Sales, DG Racing, Claxon Binnick Enterprises, number 2B. Logan Calderwood, he'll go from 19th. In the MP Environmental, JST Shock Technology, One-Way Triple X, number 6. And next to him, it's Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana, the Curb Records, Coletta Charters, Mechanical Advantage, Dueling Autosport, Curb Agagenian, number 63. The 97 UK, he'll roll off for the inside of your 11th row, driving the KB Transport Solutions, Scott Baylor Maxim, number 97. That'll be Ryan Harrison. Outside of him, set to be Greg Mitchell out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, driving the Jack Vaughn Trucking Advanced Auto 001. Final starter set to be the driver to Nesbitt, Mississippi, the Two Fellows Moving Company, ShopAngryDuck.com, Howard Racing, and Jamaqua Chassis, High-Speed Titanium number 13. That'll be Chase Howard, as that'll be your scheduled lineup for tonight's feature event for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. The drivers have presented out to the Speedway, and Drake's got one to watch.
Indeed, I do, Brian. And if you're looking for a good driver to put on your rookie card on Dirt Draft, remember that locks here at the start of the A-Main event. So if you haven't played any of the lobbies yet, make sure you put a lineup in the rookie lobby. But this guy is going to be one you definitely want to put on your list. I'm going for the driver rolling off on the inside of row number 2 in the 3rd starting spot. That is Princeton, Indiana's Kyle Cummins. Earlier today in Learn Lab qualifying, he laid down a solid lap, put him in P4. His heat race did exactly what he needed to do. Started 5th, finished 4th, finished in the top 6, all importantly, so he'd get his time back for the feature event. There's been no secret about it. It's been a slow start to the season for Kyle, and Petty Performance Racing, of course, came into Florida off of not only the championship last year, but the Winter Dirt Games title here as well. Last night, it's hard to believe, was their first podium of the 2026 season, but things seem to be trending in the right direction. We know that Kyle has said a few times that 3P works best on a track with some grip to lean on. Tonight, Kyle and the team think that it's going to have enough grip to lean on to where that car is working at maximum potential. I'm talking to Kyle just before the 8-minute horn sounded off. He said, look, we've been making little changes tonight. We're kind of sort of test and tuning for tomorrow as well. We made a little change. We were really on the fence about it all week here at Ocala. We finally decided to get on one side of the fence with that change tonight. So a little bit of testing and tuning going on. Kyle said we're either going to be really good with this change or we're going to be really bad. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for last year's champion, Kyle Cummins, rolling from P3.
Thank you very much. And problems. Jaden Rogers just rolling to a stop at the number 14. They will get one of our Indy Power Sports side-by-sides up behind him. We'll see if he heads down to the Indy Metal Finishing work area. And indeed, that is the destination for the Beasley Railcar Repair. Number 14, he was scheduled to go from the 12th starting spot. Again, Logan Seavey carrying our P1 Australia onboard camera here this evening. Getting the view right over the helmet. The driver, the number 57. Still working on getting assembled side by side, nose to tail. Again, Jaden Rogers having to go down to the Indy Metal Finishing work area. That will advance the outside row straight up. So Stockin and KTJ. Row number 1, both looking for their first wins of the season. As the field works into turns 1 and 2, they will break rank from side by side to 4 wide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our drivers. Thank you for coming out to enjoy tonight's racing action here at Ocala Speedway. As they make their way down the backstretch, ladies and gentlemen, light up them cell phones and rise to your feet. It's time to make some noise for the Ruts and Guts Thrill Ride of the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Field back into their side-by-side formation. The 14 of Jaden Rogers going to make his way back out. And real quick, Drake with an update on another driver.
Chase Howard has not made the call for the feature event. They were still trying to plug in that new power plant during the Mod Light heat races. Unfortunately, just ran out of time. Hopefully we'll see him back tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Jaden, out of the Indy Middle finishing work area. He will have to drop to the tail end for the lineup. In the meantime, caution lights have gone dark. Your Toyota Racing Development pace truck has made its way down into the infield. Under the Friday night lights, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to sit back, relax, and enjoy 35 trips around the Ocala Speedway, because race fans, this is what you saved your lunch money for. To the green here on round 5 of Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama. Jay Stocking going to take off with the early lead as they bolt onto the back straightaway. Battle of the threes right now. Kevin Thomas Jr. holds on to second. Cummins riding in the third spot. Justin Grant trying to hold on to fourth. Got the 19 of Mitchell Moles breathing down his neck right now. Now going to take a peek to the inside. The 19 couldn't quite get there as they work onto the far side of the speedway. Up top, leaning up against the cushion, rolls the Moose Racing number 92. Stocking leading the way. Stocking winner here back in 2018. Fifth place finish last night, second place on Wednesday. He's tasted silver. He's trying to get some gold here. Kevin Thomas Jr. slipped her up just a little bit high there at the exit of the fourth turn. Cummins there to try to capitalize. Thought he was going to get the run at turn number 4. Tries it again at turn number 2. Couldn't quite get there. Justin Grant, in the meantime, still fending off the charge of the 19 AZ of Mitchell Moles. Moles has been right there consistently to his inside as problems down the front straightaway. Seavey, last night's winner, rolling backwards past the flag stand. Swanson also collected in that chaos, the 57. Didn't see how it started, just saw how it ended, and lucky it didn't end much worse than that. Checking with officials in the tower, CV high. Tags the wall, sends him around, and Swanson pointed down to the infield, flat right rear on the number 57. We'll get a look at the replay here on the FloRacing broadcast. This is from the onboard, exiting turn number 4 and goes up, taps the wall, and very lucky that thing didn't go end over end and possibly become a speed bump for the rest of the field. They'll slow the frame rate down a little bit, and you see he just slips ever so slightly over that cushion. And proving yet again the concrete's going to win every time. As he was running inside of the top 10 when all that started. And now looking from the speed shot here as we look into turn number 4, and again, just got up too high and into the wall. And looks like there, as they slowed it down, we're finally able to kind of see what happened to Swanson. Everybody trying to dive inside of the 57, and the hole he was going for just closed up on him. And damage on the front end. I believe Drake was down there, was able to take a look at the front of Jake Swanson's car. Let's check in with him.
Yeah, Brian, the left front end of the front axle is shoved back pretty far, too. It also knocked the torsion arm off the top of the axle, too. So it looks to me, along with the axle being bent itself, that's going to necessitate a full axle swap for Jake Swanson. Logan Seavey, as you mentioned as well, had a flat right rear tire. Didn't get a chance to see if there was more damage on the front end or the rear end of the Abacus Racing 57. But that's your top 2 in national points in the Indy Medal finishing work area.
Yeah, on the 57, from the onboard, it didn't look like that hard of a hit to the right rear, but when you actually were able to look back on the speed shot, you saw just how hard he did bury that thing up into the concrete. As we go back on board with the number 57, we'll see if he brings it back out or continues back to the trailer. Looks like the crew has completed repairs, and just like that, he will make the U-turn and point it back towards the racetrack. Crew's continuing to thrash on the number 5. Crew members from the 92 machine down there, the 19M, also down there assisting. Also team members from Rocksteady Racing jumping in. Briggs Danner's crew as well, so everybody working as much and as fast as they can to try to get the 5T back on the racetrack. Time has expired. The caution lights have gone dark. Stocken leading. Kevin Thomas Jr. in second. Kyle Cummins in third. Justin Grant in fourth. Mitchell Moles in fifth. Brady Bacon in sixth. Trey Osborne in seventh. C.J. Leary in eighth. Briggs Danner in ninth. And Ricky Lewis now should restart in the top 10. 4 laps in the books. 35 the distance. Round of the NOS Energy start can. We're back underway. Kevin Thomas Jr. going to try the bottom of the restart, looking for the race lead. Stocken going to pedal the high side. He holds on to it as they work onto the far side of the Ocala Speedway. It'll be Stocken, KTJ. Cummins had been all over him for that second spot prior to the caution. Remember, inside these cars, they do have some adjustments as Robert Ballou taking an absolutely massive ride down the front straightaway. Red lights come on. And Robert already coming up out of that number 12. And as wild as the ride was, scary still, just coming back from an injury to his back last year that took him out nearly half the season. So good to see Robert come out of the car as quickly as he did. Drake, you're down there with the Madman.
Robert currently surveying the damage on his own number 12 machine. Robert, that was a scary ride. You got a lot of air there down here on the front stretch. What happened from your vantage point?
The track's just a little bit tricky and my balance isn't right. And I've been chasing it all weekend and I just got over on the flat. And when you get in the flat here at Bubba's, it sucks you in the wall. It's just part of the deal. I was pushing a little too hard, probably too early, and got over the edge and sucked me in. I'm assuming that same thing happened to Stevie there, and just one of them deals. We were struggling with this race car, so now we'll bring out another one and see if we're back to pace or maybe it's the driver.
Glad to see Robert Ballou up and out of the race car. Now, there was some other carnage involved with this accident. Harley Burns spun to the inside of the racetrack along with Ricky Lewis. He has front end damage on that 41 machine, so that's going to put Ricky Lewis on the hook. It looks like currently the only damage on Harley Burns' 16 is the right side Nerf bar is pushed up, but it isn't rubbing the tire, so he should be able to continue on, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to make a trip through the Indy Metal finishing work area just to straighten it out a little bit. So Robert Ballou wasn't the only casualty of that action here on the front stretch. There's 2 other cars being involved, Brian.
Thank you very much. They get the number 12 up on the hook. We'll see if we have a replay here in the FloRacing broadcast. And this is looking back from the speed shot. And just like we saw on the 57, high and tags the wall. Seavey fortunate enough to just go round and round. Ballou, unfortunately, when he tags it, climbs it, digs it, and man, what a ride. So looking from the static shot at the top of the press box, and Robert flipping into the view here. And able to see there where Lewis went down as well as the 16. I believe Drake with an update on one of those cars.
Ricky Lewis going off on the hook in the Morris Farms 41 machine. And Brian, he talked about it a few times already this week. It has certainly not been his week. And Just a dejected Ricky telling me I have no luck this week. So he's going to go off on the hook. Not going to make a trip through the Indy Metal finishing work here. They're just going to take that 41 machine straight back to the trailer.
Tough break again for Ricky Lewis, and it talked to him as well, and he said just trying to get his week turned around. Unfortunately, not the case here tonight. So another driver down to the Indy Metal finishing work area, Logan Seavey, as we were not able to come around and fully complete the lap on the restart. So this affords the team an opportunity to go ahead and look over the car a little bit more and do some more work, as it certainly will not cost them already having to start at the back of the field. And also with us not completing a lap, trying to see if Swanson's team is continuing to work on his car. So things just about cleared here on the racetrack. Let's check in with Drake once again.
Brian, you just talked about this being a big opportunity for Jake Swanson. They have a new front axle in, cars on the ground, and with the amount of time it's taken to clean up that accident, not only have they had time to put that new front axle in, they're actually making final adjustments to that race car. Little things like air pressure, but we'll see the Damon Swanson Motorsports 5T back on the track here in just a few moments.
Thank you very much. They'll back the car down. Looks like they're getting him pointed back in the right direction. Real quick, the 50-50 number, as we have a little bit of time here. We'll go ahead and draw that. A yellow ticket. Yellow ticket. 471754. 471754. If you'll make your way up here to the tower, we'll be glad to give you your dollar bills here. $260 into your pocket here tonight. So 471754. Again, you can come up to the tower. So the field refiring. Again, 4 laps completed, 35 the distance. Jake Swanson has made his way back out onto the racing surface in the Inland Rigging Snake Enterprises number 5. And the 57, Logan Seavey, also making his way back out onto the racing surface. Early in the season, but that could have been a major hit to the points battle for both drivers. As we look at the points coming into tonight, Seavey, 301 points earned so far. Swanson chasing him with 271. So both drivers going to have to restart at the tail end of the field and make their way forward here. Bacon currently third. Cummins sitting in a really good position to capitalize. He currently rides in fourth, 247 points earned so far. Stockin likewise right behind him. Kevin Thomas, CJ Leary, Trey Osborne, Justin Grant, Briggs Danner currently making the top 10. Those are the points coming into tonight's racing action. So again, Stockton leading in 92. Fifth place finish last night. Second on Wednesday, pair of 8th place runs of Volusia to start off his Winter Games. Again, returned to victory lane last year at Terre Haute. Back in July during his 500th career feature start. Winner here back in 2018. He'll bring by the NOS Energy start can for the restart this time. Kevin Thomas Jr., Kyle Cummins, Justin Grant, Mitchell Moles, your top 5. We're back underway. KTJ going to charge the bottom once again, looking for the lead. Couldn't get it. It's going to be Stockton holding on to it. Both drivers find good grip there in the middle of the back straightaway through the dogleg as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Kevin Thomas down to the bottom. Stockton with Cummins chasing on the outside. Here comes the 3P looking for second. Rolls up onto the back bumper, now going to swing to the inside. Cummins going to roll by for the runner-up spot here. Dropping KTJ back to third, now going to set sights on the 92 to chase Stockton. Stockton come around to lead the way. He'll click off lap at number 6. It is Stockton, Cummins, Kevin Thomas, Mitchell Moles, Brady Bacon into the top 5. Justin Grant, Trey Osborne, Briggs Danner. Problems for Cale Coons, the 63, slow here on the front straightaway. Cale Coons coming to a rest just shy of the pit entrance here along the front straightaway. Cale had been running in the 12th position. And a flat right rear tire is the culprit for the curb records. Number 63. So checking from the back of the pack here. Seavey has made his way up into 14th. Swanson following close to him in the 15th spot right now. But Chase Stockton leads, and Kyle Cummins has made his way into second. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying for the lead in last restart. Cummins searching around, finding a good line, and was able to get the momentum to get by the 3R. KTJ landing up in that third spot. Mitchell Moles in fourth. Brady Bacon in fifth. Justin Grant had been running up in the fourth spot. He's been slipped back to the 6th position. Trey Osborne been back and forth between 7th and 8th. He's back in that 7th spot. Briggs Danner in the number 39. Started 13th. Rides in the 8th spot, C.J. Leary, and 9, Tom Harris, the 84. Started 16th. He's made his way into the top 10. Setzer in 11th. Jaden Rogers, remember he had to go to the work area prior to the start of this feature. He's made his way back up into the 12th spot. Shelby Hinton in 13th. Seavey in 14th. Swanson in 15th. Harrison, Calderwood, Burns, and Mitchell round out your field as we're ready to get back after it. Right rear change on the number 63 at Cale Coons. He'll make his way to the tail end of the running order. And unfortunately, that erases quite a charge for Cale Coons. He had started 20th. He had moved up into 12th. Now going to have to try to do it again here. 6 laps completed. Again, 35 the distance. Chase Stockton in command in 92. Field pass the NOS Energy start can this time. Stockton going to protect the bottom of the restart. Swings it wide at the exit to number 2. Works to the dog leg. The 3P hanging right there. Only a couple of car lengths back. Up into the flat goes the 92. That's going to cost him. He falls to second, but does he have it at the line? Yes! Barely. 0.032 seconds. He lost the lead and regains it in a great drag race onto the front straightaway. Cummins unable to hold the position, and now Stockton going to try to get the elbows up on that thing. just like we saw with the 57 and the 12. That time, though, he did it in the middle of 3 and 4, not the exit. He was able to recover, turned it down the racetrack, and was able to narrowly edge out Kyle Cummins to hold on to the top spot. Now putting car links between himself and the Avante windows and doors number 3P, Kevin Thomas Jr., still riding in the 3rd spot. He works the bottom side of the racetrack. Mitchell Moles working top side, chasing him as Brady Bacon's got his hands full with Justin Grant. Grant in the 4, trying to work by the Macho Man. He's going to lose some ground onto the back straightaway. Behind them, Trey Osborne, then it's Danner, Leary, and Tom Harris, your top 10. Kevin Thomas around the bottom side of the racetrack through 3 and 4. Once again, still able to keep the 19 AZ at bay. Enters low and lets the car drift out there at the exit to number 2 as he holds on to the show position. Kyle Cummins had lost a lot of ground. He's starting to make some of it up here. Trailed by a half a second last time at the start-finish line. He comes around this time, takes 2/10 off. 0.339 the difference as they work lap number 12, working by the slower car. The 001 goes a lap down, timing good to him. They're able to make their way by with ease. Kevin Thomas, both sides of the racetrack, working more or less the middle and bottom lines. Enters to the bottom of 1. He lets the car kind of snake up the racetrack, trying to keep his momentum up onto the back straightaway. So far has not been able to make up any ground on Kyle Cummins, though. At top of 3 and 4, though, we've seen a bite a couple of drivers. Ooh, look out. Thought Bacon was going to be the next one. Slipped that right rear up there, got it spinning and kept it on track. As Justin Grant holds on to 6, Osborne at 7, Danner, Leary, Logan Seavey back into the top 10, Gunnar Setzer in 11, Tom Harris in 12, Swanson in 13th, Rogers in 14th, Shelby Hinton in 15th. Up off of the top of the racetrack towards the back of the field, that was Harrison. Gets the 97 back into the racing groove here. As your leader has to encounter a little bit more slower traffic to his inside, rolls the 63 of Coons. Stock in the meantime has not been slowed, 1.031 seconds as they came to the complete lap number 15, approaching the midpoint here in this 35-lap feature event. Pair of lap cars lay ahead of him. Cummins by just over a second trailing. Kevin Thomas still in pursuit with Moles and Bacon. The 20 closing up at the 19 here. That's about to be a fight for the 4th spot. As both drivers work the top side to the exit at turn number 4. Grant still trying to give chase to them. The 39 of Briggs Danner in the meantime setting sights on Trey Osborne. 60 up the racetrack, 39 to his inside, quickly by. He will take over the 7th spot. So Danner, one to watch, trying to charge his way forward in the number 39. Again, started 13th. Moves it up into 7th. Leader losing some distance between himself and Cummins, down to 7/10. Brings it around onto the front straightaway. Lap car between himself and Cummins. Takes it back to over a second. Quickly trying to make his way by slower traffic. He'll roll up on the 6 of Calderwood. Now going to have to throw the slide on him. Up to the flat and somehow holds on to it. Thought he was going all the way to the concrete for a second. That does cost him about half of his lead and nearly all of his lead. Here comes Kyle Cummins. He tried to charge to the inside. Couldn't get there fast enough. 20 laps in the books. Back up to the top goes the Moose Racing number 92. Cummins still right there. Top 2 on a heck of a breakaway right now, all the way back to 3rd. Nearly 2 seconds. In fact, it's over 2 seconds now. So you find Kevin Thomas Jr. He's got Mitchell Moles still stalking him. Bacon still running in 5th. Trio of slower cars around him. He's got the 84 Tom Harris to his inside. He'll use that car as a pick and protection. As they work onto the back straightaway, he's got Shelby Hinton and Gunnar Setzer right there as well. Those two right now racing side by side. That is going to allow the 3 to wind up and get close once again. Stocking with nowhere to go right now. He's got lap cars 3 deep in front of him. One more time, the 001. Set to go another lap down now. He's going to have to tiptoe his way around. Has to go to the middle groove. That opens the high side for the 3, but it's blocked by the 001 as they come around to the front straightaway. 3 wide in traffic. Stocking holds on to it with 10 to go. Decisive move by Chase Stocking in traffic. Cummins not deterred, though. The cat and mouse game continues as they work around to the near side of the Ocala Speedway. Difference, 0.285 last time. Right at a half a second this time, and there it is to the inside. He gets one more shot, couldn't get there. Cummins several times has shown the nose to the inside of the 92 at the exit to number 2. Just cannot find the grip to get the run to the back straightaway and seal the deal. Once again, tries the inside. He's still there, loses ground onto the back straightaway. Cummins with a pair of third-place finishes so far this week at Ocala. Caution. C.J. Leary facing the wrong way right in the middle of turns 1 and 2. And Leary, a lot of damage front to back on that Kodiak Products number 30. And not seeing how it started, but looking up at the wall and a lot of material missing from the concrete. Have to ponder if the 30 didn't get up there and get a piece of it. Good news, CJ out of the car, taking a look and assessing the damage. Quite the chase in traffic at the front of the field. Cummins over and over has had the run in the entrance at turn number 1, has pulled alongside, but not able to keep the momentum onto the back straightaway. Stockton a couple of times thought he was going to hit the top over there in turns 3 and 4 and find the wall. He's been able to get the right rear wound up and keep it rolling. An absolute sniper of a move on the front straightaway as he went 3 wide in traffic. In order to keep Cummins at bay, Kyle had a run at the exit to number 4. The road was blocked by a slower car. So he'll line up in second. Kevin Thomas Jr. in third. Brady Bacon in fourth. He's had Mitchell Moles chasing him. Has pulled up to his back bumper a couple of times, but the 20's been able to keep him at bay. Moles in fifth. Grant in sixth. Danner in seventh. Leary was running in eighth. Trey Osborne going to take that spot back. Logan Seavey's up to ninth. And Jake Swanson now into the top 10. So getting the 30 on the hook. So they continue to work on clearing the scene over in turns 1 and 2. So getting the Leary up on the hook.
Brian just chatted to CJ Leary a second ago. He's
And sorry about that. Something going on with the line of sight on the mic here as we get ready to go back to green. Single file past the NOS Energy start can. We're underway. Back underway. Stalking. With Kyle Cummins still in pursuit. Works onto the back straightaway. That time Cummins with a good fire. Going to make up a couple of car lengths. Your top two drivers again going to try to up and run away from everybody here. Up to the top spot. The 20. Brady Bacon, top side I should say. Setting signs on Kevin Thomas Jr. and KTJ. Still holds on to that third spot. Bacon still right there. They'll come around less than 5 to go. Make it 4 to go this time. One car smoking quite a bit. That's Seavey in the 57. That smoke is pouring out of the headers. The Mountain Mechanical Contractors 57 with smoke starting to come out of the engine. Trying to see if he can make it to the end of this one, but it looks like the engine might be letting go. After having to go to the work area, contact to the wall, and now starting to lose speed onto the far side of the racetrack. Engine continuing to pour smoke and steam as we have less than 2 laps to go. This time, white flag coming. The Moose Racing number 92. 1 lap away from victory. Working onto the far side of the speedway. Cummins going to try to close with 2 more turns to go. But the sand in the hourglass has run out, and he's going to return to victory lane here at Ocala. Chase Stockton, your winner in 92. Kyle Cummins in second. Kevin Thomas Jr. in third. Brady Bacon in fourth. Mitchell Moles, unofficially your top 5. Justin Grant, Briggs Danner, Trey Osborne, Jake Swanson, and Jaden Rogers, unofficially your top 10. Last time he stood in victory lane here in Ocala, 2018. And he'll finally grab another one. As he leads all 35 revolutions here tonight. A very good start to the season. A pair of 8th place finishes at Volusia, a 2nd on Wednesday, a 5th last night, and now a win. As he's going to pull into victory lane with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship for the 16th time in his career. The driver out of Fort Branch, Indiana. He drives the Moose Racing, England Machine and Tool, Brown Brothers Excavating Kistler, DRC number 92. He's going to start to come up out of the car. He'll get congratulations. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, going up top. Give him a hand. Chase Stockton, your winner here tonight. More laps, more money, and more glory here tonight. As the first things first, Drake, got to give Lori a hug down there in victory lane.
You have to do that. Chase Stockton is pumped up as he's your winner here in the penultimate round of the 2026 Winter Dirt Games. Tom and Lori Sertich down here to celebrate, along with the crew chief, Steve Willoughby. And a dominating drive. Last year's champion Kyle Cummins sure gave him a run for his money a few times, but Stockton was to not be denied as he bags his second career win here at Ocala Speedway. How about it, race fans, for your winner, Chase Stockton? Chase, the Moose 92, for whatever reason, every single time it's shown up here to Ocala Speedway, other than really one night where you guys just had nothing but issues and missed the show, has been always so bad fast here at Ocala Speedway, but you guys just haven't been able to put it all together. Do you feel like you have a little bit of a monkey off your back, a weight off your shoulders, if you will, to finally park this good race car that has always been good at Ocala Speedway in victory lane at long last?
For sure, yeah, definitely. You know, we had a really fast race car last year down here. You know, I can't thank Tom and Lori enough, and you know, Mr. Steve Willoughby on the wrenches. You know, I wish I would have found him a long time ago in my career. And, you know, this whole bunch, Moose 92, has been a godsend for me. And, you know, we finished out the year strong. We had a strong Ocala last year, just couldn't, you know, seem to find any luck. And, you know, I think we got a little bit of luck on our side tonight. And I killed the engine down in 3, and Kyle slid me. And, you know, I thought I gave it away right there. And, you know, all those cautions and everything, low tire pressure, I really wasn't didn't really know what the plan was. I just knew if I could hold them off from throwing a slider on me, we'd probably be in good shape. So, you know, pretty pumped to knock this first win of the season out. And, you know, like I said, I can't thank these guys enough. And, you know, it's pretty special, you know, giving them another USAC national win. And, you know, Tim and Engler's here tonight, the Collins family with their daughter Sawyer. And, you know, it's cool to have them here and, you know, have a trophy.
Kyle was sure trying a lot of stuff there. He was doing a lot of things to close in on you, whether it was in clean air or in lap traffic, which that got dicey a few times. But back to Kyle Cummins trying to pursue you at the very end of the race. You were kind of stuck with what you know. How hard is it to make a decision knowing what only you know? Because in these sprint cars, you don't have a rear view mirrors. You have no idea where Kyle's going.
Yeah, you just kind of got to use your ears. And, you know, he's bad fast, obviously, last year, all year. And this kind of slick technical stuff is right up his alley. So, you know, I knew he'd be tough. And, you know, heard him a couple times, seen his nose a couple times, and, you know, I just stuck to my guns until somebody proved me otherwise. So, you know, got to thank Engler's, Daywig Meats, Brown Brothers Excavating, Superior Tank and Trailer Company, S&T Auto, S&C Machine, Ted Brown's Quality Paint and Auto Body, Phil and Eileen King, Lucas Oil Centers, Evansville. You know, there's a lot of people that help out on this car, get us up and down the road, and, you know, happy to give them a win.
Chase Stockton puts the Moose 92 back in victory lane with the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship. Tom and Lori Sertich here to celebrate. There's nothing cooler than seeing people that are pumped to win USAC races in victory lane. But Chase Stockton gets the win on the penultimate round of Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. Genevieve Malone will catch up with Kyle Cummins, your runner-up.
Kyle Cummins in third last night and second for the night. You navigated lap traffic so well, but no one really likes to see a caution come out. How do you approach that restart?
I just knew, you know, it was really, I'm not going to crash Chase to win, and I felt like we were just going to finish second. You know, as long as he just hit his marks, there's no way I was going to get around him. And there was only one time that he got over the shelf, and I got around him. I thought that was it, and he just drove right back by me. So, you know, it's cool to, you know, Chase to win there. And, you know, both of us are sponsored by Bill Floyd of Lucas Oil of Evansville. So that's pretty cool, some Southern Indiana boys. But, no, just cars, we're tuning on it here and there and getting better every single night. And just got to give it up to Jerry Petty with Avante Windows and Doors, and Jugo Superfoods, Premier Recycling, Bill Floyd with Lucas Oil of Evansville, Lifestyle Homes, all the guys, Cameron LaRose, Casey DeRenzi, Zach Fields, Aiden Schmidt now, you know, coming and helping, and then my wife and kids, and Tanner Slinging Shirts, just everybody out there. I can't thank them enough. And tomorrow night we'll be locked in for the top 5, so we'll draw, run a dash, and hopefully come one spot better tomorrow.
Second for the night, that is Kyle Cummins. Over to Drake York with third.
KTJ, Kevin Thomas Jr., who had a wild go of it last night here at Ocala Speedway, rounds out your podium in third. KT, I know for one, you're a lot excited to have a much cleaner night here at Ocala Speedway. Not as many mechanical gremlins plaguing you guys. You and I were just talking off camera too. You and really the rest of the top two were kind of lockstep for the first few laps. You were trying something too. Kind of take us through that process of just trying to find a line to eventually sneak past one of these guys, or maybe even both of them be up front in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're running third there. We were running second, tried some stuff, and I just started trying to get off the bottom of Ford there and just get at least a decent run. I saw Chase's entry was real wide into one, and then, as soon as I got to that point, he did the right thing and protected. I rolled out, got a little tight. Kyle crossed me under, and, then I was kind of stuck right there in third and, having to try some things. The line was pretty defined in 3 and 4, where they were running, and same thing in 1 and 2. So I was just trying to figure out something, and Bubba gave us a good track in order for us to be able to switch lines and do those things. So the guys gave me a good race car. Obviously yesterday was less than ideal, but they kept working, and we come away with and salvage a 10th, and then today we get out there and have respectable laps up front, and and that's just a testament to the guys. They just keep digging. So there's a lot of them over there. CD, BK, Kyle, Country. There's obviously Mark Smith's here with Mach 1 chassis, and Hank. So it's it's a big team effort over there, and thanks to Majestic Electric and FK Shocks by Brad, and Mach 1 chassis, and all the people that put all the equipment under our roof, and trust us to go forward with it.
Kevin Thomas Jr., A for effort there, trying to find something to get to the front two. Ultimately settles for third here in the penultimate round of Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tires. Let's get it back over to Genevieve Malone.
On the 13th, the 7th for the night, our Rod and Supply hard charger is going to go to Briggs Danner. Now, Briggs, an extra 5 laps tonight. How big of an asset is that when making up positions?
Yeah, it definitely means a lot. I wish I could have utilized those last 5 laps a little bit more there to my advantage, but working on Justin, it's probably the happiest 7th place finish I've ever had. It's been a little bit of a struggle here. We're kind of throwing the kitchen sink at it and figuring some things out. I was really good off of 4. It was just tough to hit, and 1 and 2 was pretty top dominant, so it's just trying to move around, try to make stuff happen. But just got to thank Fran and Tim, the whole Hogue family, for everything that they do for me and for us, and everybody on the side of the car, Keystone Cap, E. Schneider and Sons Recycling, Boulevard Truck Repair, DRC, FK, Rider Racing Engines, everybody that makes this thing go fast and helps us out. It's greatly appreciated.
Now, are you going to give that extra money to your crew member, Braden?
We could. He worked pretty hard in the pits today, so maybe a little bit will go towards him.
From 13th to 7th for the night, that is Briggs Danner, your Rod and Supply hard charger for the night.
Thank you very much. And again, congratulations to tonight's winner, Chase Stockin, Kyle Cummins in 2nd, Kevin Thomas Jr. in 3rd, Brady Bacon in 4th, Mitchell Moles in 5th, Justin Grant in 6th, Briggs Danner in 7th, Trey Osborne in 8th, Jake Swanson in 9th, and Jaden Rogers will get your Sober Joe's recovery of the night after having to go down into the work area at the start of the feature event and overcoming adversity throughout the week. Gets it up to a top 10 finish. That'll be an extra $100 into his pocket. Logan Seavey, despite the engine going up in smoke in the closing laps, able to maintain an 11th place finish. Shelby Hinton in 12th, Tom Harrison 13th, Logan Calderwood in 14th, Gunnar Setzer in 15th, Ryan Harrison in 16th, Cale Coons in 17th, CJ Leary in 18th, Greg Mitchell in 19th, Harley Burns in 20th, Ricky Lewis, Robert Blue, and Chase Howard unofficially rounding out your field. So Chase Stockin adding his name to the list of winners here in 2025. $7,500 check at the close of 35 laps. Believe I can hear him down at the concession stand calling out some discount vittles down there if you still find yourself hungry and needing something to chew on the way home, be sure and swing by that concession stand before you leave. So they will clear victory lane, and we will be ready to go here in just a moment with your IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights. So just a couple more people to make their way into the pit area before we roll them out to the Speedway. In the meantime, let's go ahead and set your lineup for your Mod Light feature event. Get 20 laps. And winner here a couple nights ago, going to lead him down to the drop of the green flag, Ronnie Schote to the Cookeville, Tennessee, the BSB Manufacturing LR8. Outside of him at 25, it will be Pierce Aiken in the Joker chassis entry. The 12, Corey Babbitt, last night's winner in the TSM Shocks, Babbitt number 12 out of New Caney, Texas. Next to him, you will find Scott Jordan out of Biter, Texas, in the Jordan Marine Sidewinder entry. Third row from the inside, the V75, Ryan McKinney. He's out of Camden, Delaware. The McKinney Towing number V75. Outside of him, the 11C. That's going to be Carson Hubbard out of Fredericktown, Ohio. 7 starter, Jaden McDowell out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And the 722, the 10B, Brandon Dennis out of Greenwood, Delaware. Going to line up in 8th. Tim White out of Salisbury, Maryland. In the 16, he'll line up inside of run number 5. Outside of him, Billy Beard out of Farmington, Missouri. In the 28B, Jagger Beard out of Farmington. The 35 going to line up at 11. 12th is going to be Wayne Smith out of Fort Pierce, Florida. 13th, you'll find Leighton Bennett out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee. In the B7, the 721, Jean-Francois LeBlanc. He is out of Quebec, Canada. He'll line up at the 14th spot. 15th, the 11, Joseph Dunlap out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. 16th starter, Dylan Pierman out of Port St. Lucie, Florida in the 777. 17th starter is Tyler Gary out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida in the number 26. The 13, Sam Blaze, driver come to us out of Quebec City. He'll line up in the 18th spot. 19th, James Very. He's out of Clewiston, Florida, driving the number 3 machine. Larry Hubbard Jr. out of Cape Coral, Florida. In the 56, he'll line up in the 20th position. The 721, Jean-Francois LeBlanc out of Whitcomb, Quebec, Canada. And the Revtronic number 721. He's going to take off. From the 21st position, Brandon Sturgis in the 10. The 9C of Riley Clem. Remember, he had an engine making a whole lot of smoke earlier. We'll see if he makes the call. Braden Benson and Bill Leonard set to round out your lineup. So again, Schote and Aiken, run number 1, Babbitt and Jordan, McKinney, then Hubbard, McDowell, then Dennis, White, then Beard, Jagger Beard, then Smith, Bennett, LeBlanc, Dunlap, Pierman, Gary, Blaze, Very, Hubbard, Bernet, LeBlanc, Sturgis, Clem, Benson, and Leonard. Field onto the back straightaway. Caution lights go dark. Set to get after it here with your IMCA Stealth Racing model lights. 20 times around. Here come the modifieds. Ooh, my. I thought we were going to have a little bit of toe tapping going on there over in turns 1 and 2. Your front row, they both kind of bobbed and weaved and bobbed there for a second. Everybody gets it rolling here, and the challenge for the top spot immediately going after it is last night's feature winner. Trying to prove last night was nothing to sneeze at here. Babbitt going to jump out to the race lead. Aiken in the 25 going to run in that second spot here. Your pole sitter, Schote, again, who got the win in the opening night here at Ocala. Gets shuffled back to that third spot. McKinney running at 4th, Scott Jordan in 5th. Hubbard, McDowell, Billy Beard, Brandon Dennis. As I say that, we got problems there at the exit turn at number 4. And that is the 13. Thought for a second it was Dennis. Suddenly he kind of dropped out of the top 10, looked up and confirmed it is not. He just lost a couple of spots. That's a 13 of Sam Blaze that went around over in turns number 4, the Alberta Canada racer in the Masonry BrickNet Pro Chassis entry. So Corey Babbitt making quick work to get to the front of the field from 3rd. Lap 1 picks up 2 and leads the way. So it'll be Babbitt, then Aiken, Schote, McKinney, Jordan, Hubbard, McDowell, Billy Beard, Tim White, and Jagger Beard gets up into the top 10. 2 in again, 20 the distance. So 20 laps, 20 minutes, whichever one comes first. Into the Delaware double file restart against second place with lane choice. He will choose the inside. 4th place does not have a choice. He must drop to the deck on the restart. Schote having to take the outside line here. And again, the restart zone begins on the back straightaway between the FloRacing and the Amsoil banner. From there, all the way to the exit of turn at number 4. Remember, last night, Babbitt get that in his back pocket all the way to the very last restart. It was a green-white together one-lap shootout. But once the leader fires, it's game on for the field. He's going to hold them all the way to the NOS Energy start can, and we're back underway. Problems for one driver on the restart. Going to find a no parking zone there at the middle of turn number 4. We'll try this one again. That is the 9. So Riley Clem, an absolute plume of smoke out of that thing during the heat race. Fortunately, the damage not terminal. He was able to make his way back out. So we'll get them lined up once again. Clem was up to 20th now. Going to go ahead and drop to the tail here. Again, Babbitt in the 12 leading. Into the restart zone. Officials telling the drivers, don't hang back. They don't want gaps. Want everybody nice and tight coming around to the NOS Energy start can. Exit turn number 4. He finds a throttle. Jordan trying to time the restart. Took it 3 wide for the third spot there for a second. Was not able to secure and get the spot there. But a great try and a great effort there trying to time the restart. He'll roll back down to the bottom side of the speedway through 3 and 4, trying to fend off the herd that's coming after him right now. The 11C of Carson Hubbard. Looking at his back bumper as we will sail one around here on the front straightaway. He is just on the edge of the racetrack, so that will force the blinky lights back on. One driver making the right turn down into the pits. Did not catch the car number on that one, unfortunately. Officials need the drivers to go ahead and get single file here so they can get the lineup squared away. Looking back at 2025, Corey Babbitt made 14 features in 17 events. He won a dozen of them. February 4th last year in Ocala was a second place. 105 in February last year was a second place finish. Had a third back in September. And an early night in October last year. Again, primarily a competitor at 105 Speedway down in Texas. With 14 features, 12 wins in 2025. For your current leader, 2024, much of the same. 14 features and a dozen wins. So safe to say, when you roll into 105 Speedway in Texas, they bet on the guy that's going to finish second. Pierce Aiken at Lake Worth, Florida. Again, his first appearance of the season. Doesn't mean he hasn't been busy. He's got a pair of wins, both of those coming at Hendry County on January 23rd and January 27th. Already off to a better start than 1 year ago. 10 features, no wins, 3 top 5s, and 7 top 10 finishes for the driver currently being shown in the second position. In fact, winless last year, 2024, had a single win. That was in the Mod Lights of Hendry County back in the month of May. So set to try it again. Again, 20 laps or 20 minutes, and half of that time has just about ticked away here. Field back underway onto the back straightaway. Good restart for Babbitt. Working down to the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. Keep an eye on the 25, though. He's got a good head of steam as they head off into turns 1 and 2. Problems there on the front stretch. Got cars scrambling everywhere. The 7B was right in the middle of that. He keeps it rolling. The 721, he rolls it down into the infield, and they're going to keep it going. Green light's going to stay on. So good job by everybody avoiding chaos there. As we stay green, Aiken not able to capitalize on that run. Babbitt holds him off right now. Aiken, then Jordan, Schote, then McKinney. Jagger Beard, Carson Hubbard, Brandon Dennis, Dylan Pierman, and Larry Hubbard Jr. in the 56 started 20th. As everybody was jockeying around trying to avoid running over each other, he was able to pick up a few spots in that. Moves himself up into the top 10. Driver also on the move after he brought a caution out is Riley Klim. He did this last night too. Ended up starting, I believe, 26 if memory serves me right. Drove it up through the field to a podium finish. He's going to come around and steal away the 13th spot. Started 25th. He's up 12 so far in this one. Hubbard's up 10. Pierman's up 7 along with Bill Leonard. And the 9, right as we're talking about him, has problems, and that's going to bring a stop to his night. Down into the infield, got problems over in turn number 2. That is the 10. So not seeing how those incidents began. And confirming in the tower they were separate. That was the 10B, I believe, of Brandon Dennis, had been running in 8th. So Klim's night has been like that of a yo-yo. Unfortunately, the string has broke, and he is off track. As he had another pretty impressive run going through the field. So Babbitt, Aiken, Jordan, a little shake-up from 4th through 6th. You got McKinney in that spot now. Hubbard's in 5th. Schote getting shuffled back to 6th. Jagger Beard in 7th. Brandon Dennis in 8th. Dylan Pierman, Larry Hubbard Jr. in 10th. Billy Beard in 11th. So officials working on getting everybody in their proper restarting position. 13 minutes has passed. Again, 13 minutes. It's 20 laps or 20 minutes. We have a heat race worth of laps in this one. 8 completed out of 20. Officials on the receiver telling drivers they are losing valuable time. So the 25 will again choose the inside. Scott Jordan in that 3rd spot. Remember a couple of restarts ago where he was able to kind of dive the middle and take it 3 wide. Had good timing on the restart. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it stick. But now, as the race goes on, starting to inch his way forward. Had started 4th, fell back to 5th. Now trying to march his way back up towards the front of the field. Delaware restart, leader out front. Nobody can get up next to him until he fires. He's going to hold him once again all the way to the exit. Turn number 4, backing her way. A little bit of a wing developing on one of the cars out there. Seeing the left side panel going skyward. That is the 35. So a little bit of impromptu air conditioning on Jagger Beard's car. So far, it's not bothering him, though, as up front it continues to be Babbitt leading. Aiken not able to get up there and challenge. In the meantime, the V75 of McKinney Takes over the third spot. He's kind of bounced around inside of the top 5. Highest he's run so far in this one. Scott Jordan back to 4th. Carson Hubbard in 5th. Jagger Beard, Ronnie Schote, Brandon Dennis, Larry Hubbard Jr., and Billy Beard, your top 10. Ronnie had been up there inside of the podium for about the opening 3 laps, fell to 4th. Now he's gotten shuffled back to 7th. Going to get a challenge for the inside. That car just does not have the forward drive we've seen the last couple of nights. And looks like something may have just come apart on him. He's slowing over the high side of turns 1 and 2. He's still rolling, though. We'll see if the field can make their way by. Well, not going to be the case. They're going to go ahead and bring the caution lights on. Something going sideways inside that number LR8 machine. So if you're watching on Flow, you've never seen the mod lights. They're a 5/8 scale version of a IMCA A-mod. 1000 cc, either a stock or spec engine. $500 to the winner tonight. Tomorrow, doubles to $1,000. Once again, brings them all the way. The NOS Energy start can. Back underway. Good restart for the 25 of Aiken. Hangs right to the back bumper of your leader. He's going to take a peek to the inside. Exit to number 4. Challenge for the race lead. Never mind. Got him stacked up here right as he was trying to set up and try to get the pass. Looks like we got 3 cars over there building a makeshift parking lot. Got the 7B pointed back in the right direction. The 777. He's pointed back in the right direction. And looks like the 28. Believe that is Beard. That was the 3rd driver over there in turn number 4. So getting everybody lined up. So time has just about expired. Again, 20 laps or 20 minutes, and we're nearing that mark. So another caution. Could very well end this one. Confirm with officials here in just a moment. All the way to the NOS Energy start can. Here we go. Jumped up to the high side. He tried this last night till the wall bit him, but he's got a great run here on the restart. Here comes the V75 of Ryan McKinney. Boy, McKinney jumps up top in 1 and 2, carries the momentum around to the race lead, drops to the deck over turns 3 and 4, and something not working very well for the 12. Babbitt. That car had been an absolute rocket ship, but now he slipped back to third as Ryan McKinney and Pierce Aiken both race their way by. The 25 looking high there at the exit to number 4, going to close in now. Both drivers swing for the fence and 1. The 25 is going to go in and pull the trigger down low. You'll have a new leader. Good move by Pierce Aiken. Into turn number 1, follow the V75 up to the top, but immediately was able to cut the car down across the racetrack. Pulls the diamond and takes off with the race lead as he comes around to 4 laps to go. Aiken leading. Stretches it out quick, too. 1.347 seconds already is his advantage. Ryan McKinney falls to third. The 12 of Corey Babbitt getting that thing wound back up here. Not sure what happened on the restart, but that car did not have near the speed we have seen so far tonight. And the V75 is not done with him. Works it back to his inside, retakes the position. Car around and into a tire on the back straightaway. What timing on the caution as we have surpassed 20 minutes, and that would have immediately triggered a green-white checkered restart. But with 18 laps completed, here we are. Last restart, fantastic for McKinney as well as Aiken, both able to get by Corey Babbitt. Single file now with less than 5 remaining. So again, single file. 2-lap shootout. So remember yesterday, Babbitt waited till that last lap shootout to utilize the restart zone. See if Aiken does the same here. Starting now. He has the option to take off at any point. And there he goes. Before they get to turn number 3, he's going to go ahead and lay into the throttle. The V75 oversteps the top. Thought he was going to find the concrete. Somehow saves it. It does allow Babbitt to make his way back by as they work into turns 3 and 4. This time, white flag will fly your leader. That car turned about as well as a dump truck. Nobody close enough to capitalize. That thing was pushing all the way to the top of the speedway. Gets it back underneath them. And the Joker chassis number 25 laughing onto the back straightaway here through 2 more turns. Checkered flag going to fly for the 3rd time this season. He's going to report to victory lane and the 1st time here in Ocala. Gets it done. Pierce Aiken in 25. Corey Babbitt in 2nd. Ryan McKinney in 3rd. Carson Hubbard, Scott Jordan, your top 5 here with the IMCA Stealth Racing Mod Lights. First appearance of the season at Ocala. He's going to start it off with a win. $500 into his pocket. The Joker chassis number 25 getting the job done. Give him a hand. Pierce Aiken, winner here with the Mod Lights. Corey Babbitt in 2nd, Ryan McKinney in 3rd, Carson Hubbard in 4th, Scott Jordan in 5th, Brandon Dennis in 6th, Jagger Beard in 7th, Larry Hubbard Jr. in 8th, Billy Beard in 9th, and Wayne Smith unofficially rounding out your top 10. Brandon Sturgis, Dylan Pyramid, Joseph Dunlap, Tyler Gary, Bill Leonard, your top 15. Jeffrey Baronet Lacombe in 17th. Sam Blaze, Ronnie Schote, Riley Clem, your top 20. As he's going to come out of the car, race fans, give him a hand. Your winner here tonight, Pierce Aiken. They're still letting you know you got discount food on your way out. So he'll get the Happy Gilmore check. He'll don the hat. And Genevieve, restart was everything for him.
Pierce Aiken taking that one away. Yeah, definitely the restart was everything. How much was that able to capitalize on that restart?
I don't know. I figured I'd change it up a little bit. Just trying to go out there and run the best I can, you know. Second time here, and like I said, not sure how to run the line, but the 75 showed me the outside's the right way, and I took it.
An extra $500 for Pierce Aiken, our winner tonight at Ocala Speedway.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to our winners this evening. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow as we round out Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. But on behalf of everybody with the United States Auto Club, the Ocala Speedway, the crew of Studio 56, my name is Brian Holbert saying good night, good luck, and God bless.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I'm faster than you. Yeah, well, I'm gnarlier than you. I get more sideways. I'm louder. Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder.
Slicker.
Cooler.
Tougher.
Let's go.
So what you got?